Hello, everyone. Welcome to the After Hours Project podcast. I know it's been a very, very long time since I recorded the podcast, and yeah, I have been very busy with all of the stuff going on this semester for me. But I still wanted to keep these going, and there's some amazing people that I still wanted to talk to. Ceri being one of them. So, hey, a quick thing. This is like a 6 minute intro, so just skip 6 minutes if you want to go and listen to the podcast directly because I talk a lot about Ceri. There's so many amazing things to say about him. I wanted to do it justice. So, if you want to just listen to the podcast, just skip 6 minutes and go. I've been sitting here for like the past, I think 20 minutes or something like that, figuring out, okay, how do I make a short intro for Ceri, something I can keep it, so that I can keep it brief and explain what Ceri is like. But I don't think I can. Like Ceri, there's so much talk about him and all the amazing things he has done. So Ceri has one of the best characters of like all the people that I've ever met, right? Ceri is an amazing, amazing person. And what stands out to me is this he has very, very high EQ. He is amazing in just dealing with people, and he's also analytically amazing. And that is like a very rare combination for people to have. To have both the analytical side, the IQ side of things, and the EQ side of things very high. It's very, very rare combination. And yeah, he's very humble. So throughout the conversation, it will just seem like, he's a normal person sometimes, and just ignore that. He is exceptional at everything he does. And I've been trying to think of ways to concisely explain what Ceri is like. Let me do this for you. Yeah, it's hostel noise. So let me just say this thing, right? So there's very few people that you can spend time with and you can come out feeling stronger, better, and just feel good about yourself and about whatever you're doing. And I think Ceri is one of them. You can be feeling very down, and you can just have a conversation with him, have a walk with him, and you'll feel amazing at the end of it. Or let's say you're just worried about a project, right? You can just have a conversation with him, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, I can do this," right? And there's very few people that you can say that about. Like, think about it yourself. How many people can you say that about? Right? How many people can you just go into a conversation with and come out feeling better about yourself, come out feeling stronger, come out feeling smarter, right? And even though he is exceptionally smart, he makes you feel that, right? He makes you feel that you are the person who can get this done. You are someone who is exceptionally brilliant, right? And I think that is an amazing ability and exceptional characteristic for a captain. And he was, right? So I have worked with Ceri on, I think, multiple things, three of which stand out the most. So most notably, he was my captain for the Frisbee team last year, and the team did phenomenal under him, right? Um, to be honest, I think we outperformed what we should have done last year. And I think a lot of it goes to him. He brings out the best in people, and that is an exceptional quality for a captain. Um, I'll talk about a little incident after the second and third thing. So he also worked with me on the HSBC case competition. We went there, we performed at nationals. Again, with him in the team, we were able to actually do better than I think we should have done. Like at our level, I think we really did better than anyone would have predicted that we would do. And then finally, the Socialized company that I'm working on him with, it's a not-for-profit that we started. It's a social media company, and we are so excited about it. And we'll talk about that in the podcast as well. But um, just a small incident, okay? So our Frisbee team has never been a team before Ceri started that could really clutch a lot of the games. Like we were not the team that would win the last point when it was necessary. Um, Somehow that was just the culture of the team. And with Ceri, last year we were in the semifinals, right? This was the game against our biggest rival with score, right? The score was neck and neck, we were equal, and there's something called universe point. Basically, the person that scores next wins the game, or the team that scores next wins the game, right? And this is literally where we lose, right? That is the script. But so there's three amazing things that happen. First, Ceri got a leg D on one of their best players. A leg D is exceptionally rare. Like you will very rarely see it, maybe once in a tournament. And he got that in like one of the most clutch moments. Second, Nitya got a running D on the disc, and the disc goes out, it goes to the sideline, and now we have the disc. Now there's like a bunch of calls that happen after that. And then finally, there's one huck that goes to Ceri, and he skies and catches it behind him at some weird, weird angle over one of their strongest players. And then we win the game. We all go pile up on him. He breaks his specs. But what an amazing moment. That is a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life. I felt so happy. I felt so just elated. And that was because of Ceri, right? And there's so many moments like that that I've had with him. Those are the loud ones, though. There's also a lot of quiet moments that I've had with Ceri, which have meant a lot to me. And I'm very, very sad that I got close to him a little later in my college life. I would have loved to have known him for all 4 years and just been close with him throughout all of that. But you know, I will fix that in the future. Just work on him, work with him on uh, various things. Just super, super excited to work with Ceri on amazing projects. There's two things that they need to figure out in life: who you're working with and what you're working on. And I think the first one's more important. So yeah, enjoy the podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. Um, I'm super, super excited about this one. I hope you enjoy.
So tell me, wait, the typical starting question.
Yes.
How has your life been? What have you been up to on campus?
Life has been pretty amazing. I think it's my last month on campus, which is crazy to comprehend. But yeah, I think I've really enjoyed my college life. Just 3 years on campus. Actually came pretty late. Came in my, March 22, almost like 6-7 months late.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, had a lot of fun in college, done a lot of different things. And yeah, super excited to be here.
No, tell me. Okay, fine. First year, second year, third year, like that.
All right.
Yeah, like proper details. Come on.
Okay. So came to campus late.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to come to campus. Like online was really bad for me. And so I think the first midterms, my SGPA was some 5 point something.
Right.
And I did not want to come. Like, I'm going to drop out of college and I'm going to go study economics somewhere. That's what I want now. And I didn't pack. I didn't do anything. My dad and mom packed for me. And we had to get a COVID test before coming in. I purposely forgot that.
Oh.
So we came to campus and they didn't let me in. So my mom had to arrange all of that. And after all that, I really didn't want to be in campus. I came to campus and after the first few days, just met a few people and then realized, oh wait, I'm not alone in this. Everyone's going through something and friends make it better. And just from there, that changed. I'm so grateful for my mom and dad just send me to college. They could just said, yeah, economy, you could go to subject, but they actually packed for me. Even my uncle, my mom, dad, my sister pushed me to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the starting point. Then met a lot of friends.
Yeah.
My wing currently is still the same people in my first year. Since first year.
That's rare, no?
That's pretty rare. Yeah, a few additions, few subtractions, but pretty much overall all the same.
Wow.
And so that was the starting point. Then yeah, slowly got adjusted to college. And my first year, I think I applied to like 11 clubs and got rejected by all. I really didn't know how to talk. So I would pass all the interviews. I mean, all the first period rounds and the interview would come and I just didn't know how to yap. I learned how to yap later on. We team taught us how to yap. And so yeah, the first year I was really disappointed not joining any clubs. But thankfully my first year was only 4 months.
Yeah, 4 months.
So that got over fast. Then second year came, math started and I enjoyed studying math a little bit.
How? That's this math.
Math was really tough. And because it was really tough and everyone was clueless, I was a little bit less clueless. And that helped.
It's all about relative grading.
And so all my marks are like probably 30 on 100, but like A minus. Because like average is some 10 or 12.
Bro, math you're like that only, bro.
It's a hack, I'm telling you. Math is just... And so yeah, that was a lot of math. And yeah, third year. And then Frisbee team. Yeah, second year. 2-1 ending is when I joined the Frisbee team. And yeah, that's the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me. And met all my seniors, all the people on the team. And yeah, that just fully changed everything. And then from then on, life has just been Frisbee. Life has just been about Frisbee. I decided I want to stand for captain, stood for captain, became captain, had a crazy year, met a lot more new people, got to induct a lot more new people. And 23 batch, I think the people we inducted, they have become our best friends. We're just so close to them. And actually met a few of my really close friends now, met them towards the end of second year. So a really good phase, really good people I was around.
So 2-1, 2-2 was like 2-1 ending 2-2 was really good phase.
I think 2-2 was really good.
2-2
had some really great people around me. Always had support of a lot of great people. Then 3-1, 3-2 was just fully about Frisbee.
Yeah.
That was one different experience, but that was fully life changing. I remember end of 2-2, I couldn't really talk in any public setting.
Yeah.
And Frisbee has this spirit circle concept.
Right.
And even talking there was like a huge effort for me. Like, oh my God, like 25 people are going to hear whatever they say. And so just from there to actually become the captain of the team I really grew a lot. And so yeah, that was my third year. It was just all about Frisbee, all about growing this team, how to make this team better, how to make the people on the team better. And then fourth year was just me. I remember fourth year, second day on campus, I was eating a sandwich and just some pressure. They just said hi to me. I said hi to them. And then I asked what year they're in. They said first year. He asked me. I said fourth year. He looked me in the eye and said, "You're old." Just said, "You're old." So old. And I was just speechless. That's how my fourth year now. I'm old. And yeah, but I think fourth year was also insane. 4-1.
Yeah.
It was actually really great to, again, Frisbee team was a huge part.
Yeah.
New leaders who did a really, really great job. So spending time with them. And more time with friends in my fourth year, more time with the wing, some nice Goa trips we did. And then 4-2 has been like awesome. Socialize is a huge thing. HSBC. Oh, that was 4-1. 4-1 ending.
4 ending 4-2.
Yeah, I think HSBC, Socialize, and NCUC in Pilani. So yeah, and now that's my college summary.
Wrapped everything up now.
Wrapped everything up.
Has it hit you? Like, you're going away and...
I think slowly, I think every time, as the days keep passing, like somebody is there who you have a conversation with and they're like, oh, it's last month.
Yeah.
Someone after the midsem said, oh, I cried because it's my last midsem. Like, yo, how will you miss midsems?
I swear, worst thing on campus were midsems.
True.
I hate them.
Someone's missing midsem. But yeah, and every day that goes on, you have some conversation and someone says, yeah, okay, what's your plan in your last 1 month?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it is the last 1 month.
We have to figure it
You
out.
have to figure it out. You have to do things. And then, yeah, I think it hasn't hit properly, but I think it will slowly start.
Slowly sinking in.
Slowly sinking.
What do you think you'll miss the most? Like, or like, what are the few things that you would think, okay, wow, I wish I had more of these in college, or I want these in my off-college life as well?
I think a huge difference when I'm at home and here is just the amount of people that are around me. Like, you just get out of your room, there's like 5 people there. There's some random people just walk into your room, they're just there. And you go to the Frisbee team, there's like 30 people we know and we love spending time with just around you at all times. And I think every time I go home, I kind of miss that. Like, just the amount of people you interact with. And especially if you have people that you enjoy spending time with, like, it's just so much of them. Yeah, and as I leave college, I've already spoken to people and that kind of decrease a little bit. I think you're a little more by yourself. Yeah, that's going to take some time getting used to.
Oh, I say, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one huge difference. Just the amount of people in a college setting that are around you.
It's like people of your age group as well. Like, it's not like above and below as well. It's just like your year, so many people. And bro, I think Frisbee team, I keep running into them randomly. I'm like, yo, where are the people spawning from?
Actually, it's crazy. Like, you just spawn into someone, you just high-five them. Actually, the age thing that does, if nowhere else is this many people, like, you can just have a conversation about anything.
Yeah.
And they relate to you, you relate to them. That is going to be hard to find elsewhere.
Like, I'm in 3-2 and I'm already thinking about all this, man. Like, yo.
Your time will come.
Yeah. I don't know. Yo. Okay. Fine. I think I think I'm gonna keep thinking about Frisbee if we don't talk about Frisbee first. So we'll get that over with. I think in the intro I'll make for you. I'll talk about the Goa game, the Goa semi-finals. I think that's probably one of my biggest highlights of like my personal life and like my college life as well. That final score. But yeah, like, insane. You played so well in all of those tournaments.
Thanks.
Like every tournament I've seen you play in, like, wow. Like, I mean, we keep talking about tournaments, Ceri, and like it's so true. But anyways, like, what has been like the most insane, like, or intense match for you? Like, what do you remember? I was like, the stakes were high, and you had to get it done. And like, what were those matches for you, for us, like, for our team?
So there's been many, but like just that Goa game. I just talk about that Goa game. So it was semi-finals of NCUC. Till then, BPHC hadn't really won at NCUC. We've always been 4th, 5th. Yeah. And so that was our chance to actually go to the top 2. And there was a lot of pressure. I remember the game started, it felt all normal.
Yeah.
And it didn't start too well. I remember we were down 1-2, very average game.
Yeah.
And as it came towards the end, I remember thinking, okay, wow, this is a close game and we actually have a shot at it.
Yeah.
And throughout the game, I remember I don't remember me making the decisions about line calling and all of that.
Yeah.
That just went by really fast because I was so involved in actually trying to decide what's going to happen. I don't remember half of that. But just that last point, it was 7-all universe point. We were on offense. It took time to even decide who's going to play. And I remember that point was like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
And so the point started and there's just a lot of things going on in my mind. And I just remember, actually, this I found out afterwards, that moment of me catching the disc and winning the game, that meant a lot to so many different people.
Oh my God.
Like, the senior said, okay, in my college, I will remember that. And I didn't realize at that point, but like all the hard work the seniors put in, all the hard work that we put in as a team going all the way there, Goa. I think a lot of that in that Goa game, it just came true for everyone. A lot of dreams that people had. And when I found out about that later on, that just made me happier. I think at that moment, I didn't really realize all of this. But when like seniors said, okay, that catch, just my whole Frisbee life of spending going to those practices, that made it worth it. And I'm like, wow, okay, that actually meant something. And so, yeah, that Goa game where it was 7-all and one through the disc to the end. And all I remember is just me just my hand reaching up, the disc coming down. And just people coming and jumping on me. I remember my glasses broke. I didn't even realize that. And everyone was so happy. I remember Sujay, he was so happy. I remember you jumping up and down. Hemant with his camera just yapping something. And I don't think I can ever forget the scene and how happy I was, how happy the team was.
Bro.
And so, yeah, that Goa game was the most intense ever. And I don't remember what I was thinking about. It was just fully in the moment. That was one of those days where just you cannot be thinking about anything. And you're just catching that catch at the end zone and everyone running in. Like, I don't think that's something I can never forget.
It's insane.
And
Yeah.
Even from the sidelines, I'm telling you, the energy was crazy. Like, I think, and thing is, leading up to that catch as well, like, you got that leg D on, like, see, leg Ds are so rare, and to get it on universe point in a semi-finals, or like one of their best players is first of all one insane thing. Then Nitya got that tap and it went out. And from there, all of those picks and all, and then finally that catch, bro. Like, as his hands went up like this, I thought, pick again. He did this. Sport. I loved it, bro.
that was the best joke. He went up to call pick, but call goal a mistake. He came up. That was, I think that was crazy.
Insane moment.
I remember, like, just the team after that. I remember we were just
Oh, we don't
World
care.
Cup.
We won the tournament there. Like, that was it for us. Like, sure, there was finals left, but like, for us, beating Goa there, because I don't think we ever beat Goa
Oh, right.
in seriously before that.
This is the first time we beat Goa in NCC for like I don't know how many. I don't even know 7, 8 years. A huge moment. But so yeah, that is the
most intense.
that's a game I remember forever. That's for sure.
But that moment only is like, well, I don't think anyone in our team who saw that moment happen. Like, it was that catch behind your back, you're stretching on, like, oh my God.
Yeah, I can keep talking about that. Go away. So Goa game.
Like, okay, but see, I'll tell you, our team has never had the reputation of being like a very clutch team before like your year. Like, we're always a team that would do very well in the first half, and if we could carry that momentum, we would win, right? But I think you imparted that mentality, or maybe the team just as a whole had that mentality. I think it comes from the captain, a lot of it. But like, what goes on in your head during those like very crucial points? Because I've seen that you show up extra when like big things happen, and I think, see, even during your exams and all, like, I understood that you are someone who's a very good test taker. Because I like realized during our conversation, you didn't ever explicitly mention, but I understood. Okay, you are someone who writes really well. I think you are someone who performs well when it matters. Like, why do you think that is? What do you think leads to that? And like, how can other people do that? Those sort of things.
I think just one main mindset that I have, whether it's like doing an important exam or like a very, very important game, is that I always believe that, okay, I am the best person in this field right now, or I have studied as much as I can and I'm going to do really well. Just a very, very positive mindset.
Yeah.
And in a game, a very high pressure game, most of your mind is going to be on the game, or in an exam, most of your mind is going to be on thinking about the questions. There's going to be a little bit space. And I feel that if you fill that space up with extreme positive thoughts, that helps. That really helped me during any pressure game. Like, I don't even let one negative thought come in. Like, if it comes in, I replace it with something positive. During an exam, walking to an exam, in the exam hall, any negative thought comes, no, I have studied, so I can do this. Even during a Frisbee game, because there is not a lot of time to think about stuff. True, it's very, very little time. And if you just replace it with something positive, I don't exactly know how the mechanics work there, but like just having that, okay, no, I know I'm tired. I know I've ran a lot. I can just say, okay, I can give up, but no, I'm the best player on this field and I'm going to make a difference right now for this team. I feel that really helps. So I think whenever you have time, and especially when these really important moments, just having a positive mindset.
Yeah.
Extremely positive, no matter what happens. Because a negative mindset can never help.
Yeah.
It either just keeps you in the same position or it makes it worse. But having a positive mindset could help. So I think
How do you learn that though? Like, was there like a moment in your life where you're like, oh, I need to have a more positive mindset, or was it just inculcated from like the starting?
I think just inculcated. My parents especially, like, they have very, very positive mindsets.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever seen them be negative about something. Always, especially my dad, like everything's gonna work out. That's his main motto.
Very optimistic.
Like, yeah, very, very optimistic. Same with my mom, just very, very high energy, high positive energy about them when the way they go about their lives is just like that. So it's just been inculcated. And in college, I think, especially in the beginning, when I realized that just being stuck in one spiral, negative spiral, doesn't really help. And so I feel like maybe those few moments of maybe writing exams or like Frisbee games where I can have that positive mindset, I just decided, okay, I will have that positive mindset.
Just switched it over your life.
So that I feel helps.
And like, what do you think? I mean, you led the team, so you and I kind of understand where other people's headspace is as well. Like, what do you think like causes them to not do well as a team, or like some players to really crumble under pressure? Do you think it's just that negative headspace, or is there something else that goes on as well?
I think one thing definitely is, if there's a moment that doesn't go right, and that is bound to happen, it will happen.
Yeah.
If you let that get to you and you let that, if
True.
there's 3 negative thoughts continuously, I think that,
Yeah.
because your performance goes down for sure. Like, I know that in Frisbee, in a high pressure game, if you you drop the disc and you say that, okay, I'm not good enough anymore, that's it. Because your mind is going to spend time thinking about that and not going to focus on catching the next disc.
That's true.
And yeah, so the high pressure moments when people fail, at least on our team, I've just realized it's just because of their mindset. I don't think there's any skill involved at all. Like at that point, you've played enough, you've practiced enough. It's just the mind.
Got like 10,000, 20,000 catches at that time.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly. True. It's impossible for it to be up to skill.
Yeah.
If you're playing that final point, you've proved yourself before.
Yeah.
It's just purely mindset.
mindset.
Purely mindset.
That's insane. Actually, very true. That is. Okay. Anyways, like, what do you learn from leading a team? Like, so we have had very big losses. We have had really big wins. Like, true. And we somehow always end up at universe points. Somehow our team just stays at universe points, the final point, and we sometimes we win. Like last time we won a lot. This time we lost a few on lane. What do you think you've like learned about yourself? Maybe learned about leading a team. Both of those actually. Through like wins and losses. Like, what has that taught you?
I think for myself, definitely everything I am right now, I can contribute to the Frisbee team. Just the amount of personal growth that I have in terms of, okay, how do you communicate with people? When things are going right, what do you say to people? And especially when things are going wrong. Yeah, people are already feeling bad about it. People are already feeling negative.
True.
And if you feel the same way, that's not going to work. Okay? So how do you communicate with people? And that's one of the biggest skills I can attribute to Frisbee. Just how do you talk to people? How do you talk in general? And so that's one thing I've definitely learned through Frisbee.
What is that? Like, what have you figured out though? Like, that is like an overarching theme. True. Could you go into like more specifics around that?
So I think I've always been scared of, starting a conversation. I don't know, it's a very negative mindset, but I always thought, okay, if I talk, people don't really want to listen, so why do I talk?
Yeah.
But then the whole concept of a spirit circle in Frisbee, where at the end of the game, you all sit down and talk about the game. And when you're talking, everybody's just listening to you.
Yeah.
And your points matter.
True.
And I think that comes from the seniors, where anything that you would say, they would say, okay, that is a good point.
Hmm.
And so from there, slowly getting, okay, things that I'm saying, actually, people are listening. It's making sense. And so slowly from there, building, okay, a little bit of confidence every time I speak.
Yeah.
And that's slowly, as the time I became captain, I'm like, okay, now people actually listening to what I say. What I say actually matters.
Yeah.
And so I have to make sure that I'm saying the right things to people.
Also, the weight of the responsibility also helps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really does help a lot. So the things that I say, people are going to listen.
True.
The things that I say to people are going to think about that. That's going to have, especially for the juniors, who are, it's the first few months in college, especially like a senior talking to them. If you can talk to them in the kindest way possible, if you can encourage them.
Yeah.
And that's something, I think I've had it before, but I think being the Frisbee team, it's always encouraged. Like, there's no use in criticizing people. There is a time to criticize, but there's a way to criticize.
Yeah, true.
And that criticism also has to have encouragement in the end. the criticism, it has to end with the person being, okay, motivated to solve that problem.
Yeah.
No point just saying, okay, you're bad, bye-bye. No, okay, say, you're bad, but this is how you can improve. And so that's throughout the Frisbee time, I've realized that there's no point of having any hierarchy of, okay, I'm scared of this person. I think that's something I've tried to do through. Just there is no concept of hierarchy. I want you to be as free as possible, to be yourself. Don't need to act in any way possible. There is no senior junior concept.
True.
I really love the Frisbee team. I think even now, if you come to our team, there's junior bullying, senior. It's just so much fun. And I think that whole culture of the Frisbee team is based on that. There is no concept of hierarchy.
No, not at all.
And that's something I've tried to do. Just, okay, you're free to speak your mind. You're free to do your best. So there is no one judging you. There is no, like, okay, power, dynamic, nothing of that sort. Just eliminate that. Focus on the game. Focus on having fun. And that's the biggest thing I've learned leading this team. Like, this works.
Yeah.
The culture of this Frisbee team is built in a really nice way. I think this really works. And about myself, just the way communicating with people, that's something I really, really learned.
Yeah.
And another thing I learned about myself, I think, is I was always really scared of confrontation. Anything bad that happens, I just go into one shell.
Yeah.
But as Frisbee captain, there are a lot of decisions you have to make. There are a lot of times where you can't make everyone happy.
True.
And I thought I'm never capable of handling any of that. But like that whole year, there's so many different things that you have to do. And there are a lot of people supporting you. I think that at the end of the day, whatever decision you make, if people respect you as a captain, and they will understand.
Sure.
So I understood that, okay, I am capable of making those tough decisions. But again, you have to earn your respect and you have to be a good captain. People should be willing to listen to you, and then it works out. So like it's a lot of personal experience as well. But as a team, I think the whole culture is something. I think you, me, we're all here because
Bro, it's the culture. There's nothing else. Like, bro, it could be so many sports, right? Exactly. Frisbee is, for me, it was always the people and the culture. Because seniors are very welcoming. I mean, right from the start, right? In the workshops, one of the first things that we tell our other batchmate is that remember the names, right? Like, I don't know how many other teams think of that a lot, but like our seniors taught us when you're taking inductions, remembering the person's name is very, very important, right? Your first interaction with us is us trying to put effort into, making you feel special. Like, I think that is where it starts. And it's all uphill from there. Like, you just do more and more and more and more. I don't know. I don't know if uphill is the right terminology, but whatever. It's just, we just do more from there. And yeah, I think the culture is very good. Like, the thing that you talked about, there's not being a very clear hierarchy or just that. Everyone's equal, just playing there, everyone's there for the sport. So I think that really helps. True. I think, I didn't know that you were not someone who could speak publicly. Like, if you like asked me in first year, was Ceri someone like that, I would be like, no shot. Right. I've never seen a struggle with that, honestly.
I think that's something people didn't really realize, but I think since the gap from player to captain was a little less, it was just one semester, so I had to become that person too after. And so I think that people didn't really see that I was struggling with them. But, that's another good thing.
And that's good though. Like, I think me not even realizing that was like a really good thing. Okay, fine. You got to a point where, like, for us as the other players, you could never really pick up on that. And that's good.
That is one thing I have to ask. I've seen you also with juniors, especially during when I was captain, like the way you were with juniors, just teaching them. You already knew from the beginning that, okay, you're going to teach the juniors in the best possible way. And I don't know, somehow, when I used to look at you, you used to be fully focused in teaching the juniors. So where did you learn that from? Like,
teaching the juniors, isn't it?
Like, just fully focused in, giving your best to the juniors, in teaching the juniors. There's no, like, that hierarchy. Yeah, it never exists. I mean, few people have to understand that, but I feel like it came really naturally to you.
I think it's just played sports a lot with different age groups. So like when we would play in our like apartments, a lot of I think my like friends, brothers and all would come. So you teach them a lot. But I think once you realize that you are not going to be here and what you teach matters a lot, because I think one thing that I understood was, okay, I will leave the college very early on. And like whatever I do is not permanent here. Like the only thing that I can permanently pass down is whatever I've learned. And like if that trickles down, that is what my impact can be. Because my impact is, otherwise it will just be restricted to my years of college, which is very limited. True. And like I never, like, to be honest, I think it was just the culture. Like for me, teaching juniors, I remember first time I took tours with Naveen. And whenever, like, I bothered all the seniors a lot. Like I remember being in first year and the third year seniors, I would just keep going and asking them questions. And they were very, very patient and kind with me because I would just keep asking. I was like, okay, why are they doing that? Why is this happening? Sorry, excuse me. But ask a lot of questions. And I would always want to learn the sport more and more. Like not only the technical things, but like also the mindset and okay, how is the strategy taking place and all of that. And I really wanted to pass that on as well. Like so now whenever I talk to juniors, I not only talk about like let's say, okay, this is how you catch, like this is the best way to catch. Versus also there's like, okay, this is how you like let's say you're doing a line call. This is what your captain is thinking. This is what they are thinking about. Like this is a strategy that we're putting up. Why are we putting this strategy up? Like how do you play with win? Like so many things. Like I try to impart those as well because I think our seniors imparted that. Like I remember 20 batch, 19 batch doing a lot of that hard work. And like to be honest, a lot of my frisbee thinking is just I don't want to let the seniors down. And like especially when nostalgia bowl comes around, you see all the seniors like people with alumni come and then 2016 batch. Lazy. I feel the weight of responsibility a lot that they worked so hard to first of all make the sport possible. Secondly, like create the right culture. Like I don't want to be the person who lets them down, lets the team down because I wouldn't have this like family if it weren't for their efforts and whatever they created. And like I don't want to like drop the ball on that. Like it is so important that you pass it down.
Definitely.
And like that just the weight of that responsibility that okay, I have to be the best senior I can so that my juniors have that and their juniors in the following batches have that is so important to me. I don't know, like
Yeah, that
it's very important because
it is.
I had that and like that is a privilege that I've gotten. And like when you get a privilege, you should always try to pass it on.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And this whole culture, this whole team is just
Well,
very powerful.
yeah, like you feel so connected with other people, man. Anyways, yeah, sorry. So when we lost a lot in tournaments, is that when you feel the most connected with like your other team members, or like is it like those moments where you just dogpiling on one person and just like doing all of that? Like when you feel the most connected with your teammates as like not only teammates, let's say people, humans, like when is that? Or is it then like I think the journey could also be one like thing.
I think, yeah, two things. The journey of actually going to tournaments and a loss. I think a loss teaches you a lot and it unites the whole team together. Like any loss is just, if you have a supportive team, a team that actually believes in what you're trying to build and who supports you no matter what you do. It's, I mean, it always teaches you a lot. And whenever I felt most connected, whenever we travel for a tournament, laughing together, I think that's just something I will never forget. Like, especially this Bilani and Siseko. Oh, we came fifth. We lost the tournament, but I will remember this tournament forever. Yeah. Just 22 people, our squad could not be separated. We were sitting together and we laughed harder than any other. If there was a prize for laughing, oh, we would be first. That there is no competition. There is no team that was as close knit as us. Every chance we got to spend time together, we would just take it and we would just laugh and we would just have so much fun. It didn't matter who you were, junior, senior, it didn't matter what player you were. You could just laugh. Someone would make you laugh and you would just laugh. So I think that's what makes this team just so special to me and I think to every single person on the team. Just the camaraderie and the friendship we have with each other. Like no matter what, whether we win, lose, bad tournament, good player, bad player, doesn't matter. We will just have fun and laugh.
Yeah.
I think this NCC showed me that. Like you don't need, I always thought like, okay, that NCC, if we didn't win, if we didn't come second, oh God, what would it be like? Oh, it would just be so bad. But no, we came spiral. It's fun. I got so much out of this tournament, even though we came fifth. But just the amount of things I got from this tournament, just in terms of friendship, and even now, just thinking, I just want to go back and just spend time with the team. Just in that train, in the bus to Pilani, in the flight, just spend time laughing with the field. But most of it was your stupid joke. It's a lot of people like you make it joke, but I brain not funny. I swear, these juniors especially, and this joke come from this horrible jokes were just keep laughing. I think that's what keeps the team close. And I could see that difference this time. You were all 22 of us laughing together. You know, if you just look at the team, everyone would be smiling. There would be no one having like a bad time. Everyone would just be smiling and everyone was happy to be there. And I think that was just special. That realization this time was just special to me. It's wow. Like this just made it all worth it. Like all the Frisbee, all the time dedicated to Frisbee. Just that one flight, that train, that bus made it worth it. It's like I know, okay, worth it fully.
Did your job.
Did my job. Everyone's doing their job, and I will do this again for sure. So I think just that brings the team closer. I think you would also fully go to that job.
Completely, 100%. I would do double, bro.
I don't think we can laugh anymore. I think all smups were hurt at one point.
You know, after I think after the SDR tournament, like when Vansh came back, he laughed so much that his jaw was like literally hurting. Till I think Feb or something of this year, I think March also, he was just massaging his jaw all the time. So he anyway, yeah, like when you talked about like how you put all that effort into the team, like how do you see the team evolve like over the years of captaincy? Like you were a player once, then you saw your team go through the captaincy. What was the shift? Because yeah, like I could tell you like there were shifts during your captaincy. What do you think they were for you?
The first thing that comes to my mind is your batch, the 22 batch. So I joined with you guys and I became the captain, and you guys were from the beginning just so passionate about Frisbee. I remember the amount of conversations I've had with 20 batch saying that, dude, this 22 batch is insane. Or where did you produce this batch from? And they would keep making fun of me. Some useless 21 batch. Look at them. They're going, the rain, sun, hot, heat, doesn't matter. They'll be playing Frisbee. And I always admired that passion for Frisbee all of you had together. And so in the beginning, it was very raw. It was very random. And then slowly, second year, even in the beginning, MGR, our mixed gender regionals, that was in November. I remember you guys there were still finding your feet, still deciding, okay, where can I make an impact?
True.
And throughout the year, yes, there was Arena where Srujan and Menon captained the team really, really well.
Yeah.
And then you slowly found your footing. And different girls in the team also slowly found what they're actually good at. And to NCUC, where actually people, okay, found their roles.
Yeah.
This is where I can make an impact for the team. And every single person in the team made a huge impact, especially your batch.
Yeah.
And just that evolution after NCUC, where you started with just raw passion to just a little bit more structured to then, okay, I can make an impact. Like, not like a crazy, massive thing, but this small area I'm going to be good at and I'm going to do that well and I'm going to help the team. And I just saw that happen. I'm like, wow, okay, this batch is really something special. And I think that, for me, that's the definition of evolution, like how you guys evolved. And then to this year, you guys captaining the team, taking the leadership role. Oh, I just saw the whole journey, and I'm just super grateful to be able to see that. Oh, man, from everything, like the way you led the team, the way you take decisions on your own. Like I remember Menon in the beginning was very tense and he just always asked me, and now he's just one independent thinker. It's just crazy to see how like this evolution, just your 22 batch. So I think when I think of evolution, that's what I think about, just how your batch is evolved.
It's very sweet, bro.
It's awesome. I got to be part of that. I was just closely connected to all this. Like,
True.
I was with you guys getting inducted, and then I could actually see you guys try to teach you guys a few things. Then you guys actually teaching me. Because, yours, I think by the time, the amount of practice and passion that you had means that you spent a lot of time playing Frisbee. So I always knew that I could never teach you guys about the sport because you guys just know a lot and knew a lot. So I think I tried to help you guys with a little bit of the mindset part, but I think just playing together, all of us. I never thought of myself as separate. I just inducted with you guys. This part of you guys.
Honorary 22.
I mean, better batch. My batch, it just sounds very, very few people, but I think 20 batch would definitely agree. 20 batch and me. I think the amount of conversations we've had about this batch is really quite something amazing. And they were also really, really proud that they actually got this batch. And I think they still say that this saved Frisbee on their team. I think 20 batch, they went through a tough time, especially after inductions. A lot of 21 batch left the team. They had very, very few 21 batch. Team was kind of dying. The inductions were over. There were no tournaments. I remember Kanpur, they had to ask people to come for tournament. It never happened.
Yeah.
Frisbee,
Correct.
if you're selected, it's like, wow, I am selected.
Yeah.
It was reversed there.
Oh my god.
And
I can't imagine that. Like, we have a 50% score right now.
exactly. And imagine like the boys, especially like we have a lot of boys. And boys, it's always like half the team gets cut off. Here they had to ask people, request people to come. I can't. Wow. And then so they went to Kanpur one, and then this batch just came. And I think they're also super grateful. The whole team, I think a lot of it is because of the 22 batch. I think that's evolution. I kind of yapped for too long.
But so, like, was that like a major turning point for the team? Like, or was there something else like that? I think Kanpur was a big turning point.
Kanpur, definitely, it was a huge turning point. Like the team, I think on campus, it was not that well known. It was, we still made fun of, but now people are scared to make fun of us. I think at that time, people would just make fun of us a lot. They would just spray paint random things on holes. And there was really no respect for the Frisbee team. And the 20 batch also really struggled. They put their heart into this team, but there's a lot of things that weren't right. A lot of things that they kind of struggled with the seniors. There's a lot of different things that were going on. And they went to Kanpur, won the gold. The only team that actually won the gold. After all that train journey, 30 hours, no food, they went, won the gold. Wow. Whole campus heard about, okay, Frisbee is the only team that won the gold. A huge trophy they got, huh? And that just changed. Like everyone on campus, I remember saying, dude, Frisbee team won the gold. Did you hear? Actually, that's how I heard about them. Like, wow, Frisbee team won it. So, that's how I went for Frisbee. I think among the whole 22 batch, that was the talk. Like, okay, yeah, team seeing something big. And just from getting like 20 people to inductions, that year they got like, I think 150.
150?
Oh, I remember Ram and Himangi telling me they got like a huge number of sign-ups for inductions, and now they have to actually choose people versus requesting people. And even the people that they inducted, you guys are so passionate. They've never seen that before. I think that was a huge turn. That was a huge shift. And then I think from there, we had a good foundation. And now, I think next batches. But yeah, that was one of the biggest.
What about your tenure? What was like a big turning point in your tenure?
What's a big turning point was that Arena loss. So Arena, our sports fest in front of our people, we lost the finals 13-1.
Yeah.
And
That was very disheartening.
that was very, and I remember after the final, I couldn't talk. Like I was just I was just so like, I don't know, heartbroken. And I remember Ram gathered the team and he spoke to everyone. I think everyone from our college, everyone came to that circle, and Ram really gave a good speech. I'll never forget that one Ram moment. Like when I couldn't speak, I didn't have to tell him anything. Like he just knew, and he just called everyone and he said, "Okay, guys, we've come so far," and he just gave. I don't exactly remember the contents. I just remember him doing this for me. And that just really, I was like, wow. And then from there, we got together. I remember, our review meet was the most serious meet every year. And before that was the B team meet, which was laughing, jumping, cheering. And then all the B team left, and all the smiles just went. See, everyone was so serious, locked him, and in that serious moment, everyone gave such valuable suggestions. This is what we need to do. This is how we need to improve. And so that loss, I think that helped us win that NCSC.
True.
So that was a huge turn.
Oh, man. I wouldn't have thought of that, honestly. That's insane. Yeah.
Just the different suggestions people get, and like, okay, this is what we need to focus on. Let's do this together as a team. And from then on, from that day, we realized, okay, we're not some amazing team. We have a lot to improve on.
True.
And that grounded us a little bit, but it also showed us that, okay, we can win. We're not there to come 5th or 6th again. We can win.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a turning point.
We'll talk a little bit about something else. We'll talk a bit about math. Okay. When was your first time you thought, okay, fine, I can do this degree? Like it's not something beyond me. Was it like the first test? Was it the first midterms? Was it like first class?
So in 2-1, one of the first courses, elementary real analysis.
Elementary real analysis.
Abstract course. There's nothing I understand that course. Nothing anyone understands it. It's very, very abstract concepts.
Yeah.
And we had one quiz.
Yeah.
I remember that time I didn't really go to all of the classes.
Yeah.
But I kind of studied a little bit for the quiz. I went for the quiz and saying that, okay, everyone's clueless. I'm just going to, again, be positive about the quiz. And that quiz, I got full 10 on 10. You should 10 is not much, but 10 on 10, and average was 0.98. Yeah. You've got 10 guys and 10. And I was there. I remember sir giving me the paper. He hadn't seen my face much. 10. And then people asking me, how did you study? Did you attend all the classes? And I'm like, YouTube something. I was like, okay. Then I realized, okay, wait, math is tough. but I can do it. And everyone thinks, okay, math, crazy. But I realize, yeah, I can't understand everything about this. I don't have the time. I'm not really interested in going fully in depth, but I can do what's needed for me. I can go to maybe 50-60% of the classes, understand something, study for the exam really well. Like one day before, I would lock in. Like it didn't matter whether I understood or not understood. I would just work as hard as I could.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's what really helped me in math. Like people would just say, okay, this is extremely hard and I won't study. But I would just say, this is extremely hard. But if I study,
I can understand.
I can understand half and I can know how to solve this question.
Hmm.
So I think that's when I realized, okay, math, I can actually do that.
Damn. Were you like someone who could do math before, or is it like a college discovery? Like, were you good in math?
I mean, I was decent at math, but like not like I never thought I could do an MSc math and do it well. But I think college showed me that I would. There's still so many people who are much better at understanding the concept, but that wasn't really my goal. I realized that okay, I didn't want to do pure math.
Yeah.
And I would just there are few courses which were fun, which I actually went in depth, but most of the time it was just
For the exam.
basic level for the exam, do the best I could. And I didn't hate the math degree.
Yeah.
So it didn't like, okay, I was forcing myself to study, but I kind of found a way to make it work.
Just go through it. And what is CGPA?
8.76.
8.76, going from what, 5.5 to
First 1 XG. So
that's a big thing. That's a big win, Ceri.
math was a huge part of that.
Math, and you also have CS courses, right? Your dual is CS, and CS is notorious for like, bro, it's difficult to get CS grades. Yeah, man, I should talk to you about that as well, actually. But like, okay, combining both maths and CS courses, what was one course or one professor would like that fundamentally changes the way you think? Was there something like that?
Yes, the Dipanjan sir, who was one professor that really taught me a lot. He taught operating systems. That's my favorite course in computer science.
OS.
What? Really? I really loved it. And the way he spoke, the way he taught the course, it was simple. He would have slides. The slides had dinosaurs on them. That's all. I don't know why. I think it's some textbooks. Like, I don't know what to use. Like, he would just come in. He would wear like shorts. He'd come in and just talk. Like there's nothing fancy, nothing extra, but he would just talk and explain concepts so well.
Mm-hmm.
I just really loved the way he taught. And like he's just a simple person. He had such practical advice.
Yeah.
Everything that he would talk about, he would just give some practical analogy.
Oh.
So I really loved the way he talked. And I would just realize, I think that's something I realized that you don't have to be extra fancy. Just simple. Just do your job well, teach well. I think Dipanjan sir is a course that I like. OS and Dipanjan sir.
That was like a
Really
good.
on every conversation I have with Dipanjan sir, I always learn something.
Yeah.
Learn something cool. Like this very practical person. Lot to learn from. I really love Dipanjan sir.
Wait, I have actually one like tangential question. I know we didn't talking about this, but like, what do you think makes a good professor for a good prof? Because I think a lot about this, and I have some thoughts. But like, what do you think are like traits of a very good prof?
Traits of a good prof. First thing, you have to be clear. You're there as a teacher, and so the course that you're teaching, you have to teach it well. You have to have knowledge of the subject. And I think the word engaging. How do you keep the class engaged? I think it doesn't have to be doing a lot of extra fancy things. You just through the subject, you can keep it engaged. Just the things that you say about what you're teaching, if you can relate it to something practical, you don't have to jump and dance around and it's a video you have to play, but if you can just relate it to something that we understand better. If you're teaching something about how an operating system works, like I'm not going to understand immediately, but if you can relate it to something I already do, so just I think that if you can keep the class engaged through, it can be simple. And if you have knowledge, that is for me. What are your thoughts?
Wait, like I think profs, first of all, again, they have to have very good knowledge of the subject. Since students pick up on that, if you don't have good knowledge of the subject,
Definitely.
we understand that, okay, you're not someone who's an authority, and we can just, we understand, okay, this is not someone we can take super seriously. Like,
Exactly.
they know a little bit. Because, and that is demonstrated by the way they answer our questions. Like, sometimes when you ask questions, and they have like a very well thought out, detailed, like, citation I answer, and I'm like, yo, that is a very good, because sometimes we just throw curveballs. I'm like, bro, what is that question? And if they have a good answer, I'm like, okay, my respect goes up. And when your respect goes up, you start listening to them more. So that is one thing. I think good profs are also kind. Like, I think kindness goes a long way. Like, you have to love your students.
Yeah.
I think if you don't like your students, they understand that, and then they also treat you like similarly. Like, it becomes more of like a fight or a competition.
rather than like a competition of who can make the other person's life more painful. Like the whole class kind of rebels against the prof who doesn't like work well with them. And like thing is, it always helps with the students like you, right? Because they will also be they'll be happy to attend the class. They'll be happy to do the assignment. Like I've seen this. Like if my friends like some prof, they will actually do the assignment with enjoyment. Like they won't hate it, even if it's a boring thing. They'll be like, yeah, it's for that, ma'am. Like there's like a few profs that really stand out. They're like, yeah, okay, they want to help us, so we want to also do the same to them.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest qualities. I learned this in POM. One of the last slides we talked about leadership, and like I think that one thing made the 41 hours of lectures that I attended worth it. Was demanding yet fair. Like that is one phrase that I always remember now. Demanding yet fair.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to be like good profs are demanding. They're not they're not loose. They don't just let you do anything. They're very demanding. They will want you to do the best in life. But they're also fair. Like let's say there's one big assignment and let's say you fall sick. Right. And even if you don't have like a METC certificate and you just go and talk to them, they'll be like, okay, I give you a 2-day extension. Or let's say you miss a quiz. They won't be like, okay, I won't do this. I won't do this for you. Like I had full profs who gave me like extra work. Like I had to do an assignment, like a very big assignment, but they gave me the shot. They're like, okay, if you miss a quiz and I can't give you a retest, you can at least do this one assignment to make up for those marks.
Wow.
And like those things are, I think, what is required, because then the student actually puts in the effort. So I think good leaders, good professors are always very demanding. Like I have had professors in my school also who were very demanding. And like I remember their classes being hard because they would go fast, they would make you solve questions, they would ask you a lot of questions. It's difficult. But then they were always very fair. Like they would help you out if you were doing something wrong. And they wanted to be there. I think those are 3 things that I really think about. Okay, demanding it fair is like one of the best things that I figured out.
Wow, that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Demanding it fair.
Like you think of any good prof or any good leader you've had, they were always very demanding but very, very fair.
Actually, very easy to relate.
No, I don't know. Like that just really stuck with me. And like sometimes you just read one thing or you just understand one thing and it makes the whole like duration of learning worth it. Like that is the one thing that I'll take away from POM.
Demanding yet fair. Wow.
Demanding it fair. Yeah. And yes. Going back to masters, yes. If you have to give advice to like someone just joining in to their first year CS course or let's say math course, how do you crush those? How do you do well? Like I think you talked a little bit about that for math, but like just give us a little bit more detail about maths and CS.
I think major thing, exams are a huge part of actually getting the CGPA. I don't know if that's the right or wrong thing yet, but it's just what it is. It's just how it is right now.
Yeah.
Just having a good mindset during exams, especially during exam, that's where a lot of people kind of crumble and say, okay, they will study throughout the semester, but during the exam season, that's where you get to perform. That's when if you have a good mindset there, a kind of what you've done before doesn't really matter too much. So, of course, there's a lot of it does matter, but that matters a lot more, your mindset during exam. So, have a very positive mindset. Just trust that the work you've done will come in the exam and you will do it. You're capable of doing it. So, that's one thing. Like, don't be scared of the exam. Don't be saying, okay, I've not done this enough. Oh, I've not studied that concept. Just be fully confident in yourself. I think that really helps. And it doesn't matter how hard the course is. Like, it will be hard. Like, you won't understand half the things that's going on, no matter whether you attend class, don't attend class. It will be very tough things. But don't ever give up on the course. Like, okay, this course I can't do, not for me. Yeah, okay, it is really hard, but just try. Just do something. And whatever something you do, just believe, okay, I know this well. And that really helps me. And that kind of avoids all the negative talks. And I'm not saying that during exams, you will feel like, okay, I can't do this. What is the use of all this studying? There will be bad exams. But I think overall, if you have this mindset, during exams, okay, I'm going to do this really well. And no matter how the course is, whether you've signed up for it, not signed up for it, whether you don't like it, just like put in the hard work, especially during the exam time. No matter how hard it is, no matter what your understanding is, do it. Just do it. Just put in that work and just say, and just believe. Don't just simply put in the work and say, okay, I'm useless in this work. Put in the work and say, I've done this. Yeah, I can do that. This is fine. I think that's something I have lived by, especially during exams. Yeah. I think that's the only advice.
That's the only advice you'll have.
I think
Nothing for the preparation. Come on.
preparation, I don't know.
Throughout the semester also, like
Throughout the semester, of course, attending classes does help. I think, and I didn't go to all the classes, but I think at least keep track of what's going on. But that's something I've not been always great at. Like I'm not always top of my. I'm always okay, ready for the next lecture, revise all of that. No, but always know what's going on. At least 50-60%. But I would say near the exams, like I'm really locked in and I know that, okay, I put in my all at this time.
Yeah.
I can do well. It doesn't matter what I've done. So I wouldn't have really great advice on preparation.
But the end clutch.
I think the exam time, that is something that it is again comes down to mindset, because a lot of people do the hard work and I've seen that.
Yeah.
Hard work, a lot of hard work has been done, but a few mindset blips, I would say, near the exam, and that just melts their whole
Blips.
blips.
Good word. Anything for CS? Same thing?
It's same thing. I've not done as well as I did in the math courses.
So fair.
But I think the courses I've done really well in, I really like the professor.
Yeah.
And I put in that effort. Of course, it's double the effort for the CS courses before the exam. If it's like 2 hours of sleep for a math exam, with no sleep, the CS exam. But it's the same thing. Like, course is hard, averages are 80-90%. Oh, which is completely opposite of math is. Math is, you attempt 50% of the paper, above art. Good job, math expert, PhD class. CS, 50% in default. Like, you assume every course, 50% people are getting it right. Wow. The margin of error in CS courses is very, very low.
Yeah. You have to do well.
You have to do well. So there also preparation. Of course, there you can't fully clutch one day before.
Yeah.
But again, the mindset before matters. Like, if you say like, okay, in the CS courses, the mindset is that, okay, I need to go get full in this paper. Math courses, I need to attempt it. Paper. And both of those are very clear positive features. Yeah. No, math is very funny. Very funny degree.
No. Oh my god. Funny degree. What's like the wildest concept in that in math, bro? Like this real, what are numbers are you said?
The same course, era. There's this one
What is error?
elementary.
Oh, the same thing, yeah.
There's this proof that we did. What is a function that is continuous everywhere but differentiable nowhere? Simple question that has a 4-page proof. We did 4.5 hours on this concept alone. There's one function, some modulus function you construct, and I remember sitting in the class not understanding anything, but just in amazement of wow, who spent this much time discussing about this? How is this going to help me? Just being fascinated about wow. And then I remember when I studied this concept and understood, I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. But would I spend a whole PhD doing this? No. So that made me realize that math is not for me. And yeah, wow, pretty cool concept.
Very cool things happen in math.
Some insane function that it goes somewhere it does, but it's not differentiable anywhere.
Continuous though.
It has some summation, it has some m, and what phi is there somehow. I don't remember the function, but yeah,
4.5 pages.
4.5 pages. More than that, 5 classes. So 5 classes. That's 5 classes explaining that, which is what 50 minutes each class, like almost 5 hours. Like wow,
Oh,
that is math.
that is math. Did you ever feel the tension of like having a very deeply technical subject as your like? I mean, CS and math both are very technical. I think a lot of CS courses have like a lot of math involved.
Definitely.
So did you feel the tension of that versus balancing of your leadership roles, which are like more people and I would say like a very other side of the spectrum, right? If you think of it, like if you could totally not be great at talking to people and do very well in math,
Exactly.
and like these things are again very separate. Like how do you balance those? Did you ever feel that okay, like I'm stretching myself a lot because again you have to develop like two very different parts of your personality. So
Definitely, there is a huge effort in balancing it. And I always realize that, okay, when things are going well with the Frisbee team, especially during my 3rd year, things are going well with the Frisbee, I'm like, okay, I'm a people person. I love this. Technical side, nah. For me, and when the things are going bad and I have to make tough decisions, like, coding, I think I can do it. I see something the other way. When there's like a coding, I don't know, a lead code question I solved on my own, I'm like, yo, this is Google engineered. And then when there's a coding question, I watch solution and still don't understand. People side of MBA 9. So I think it is whatever's going good, I'm like gravitating to. So I realized that, okay, I kind of understand that, yes, I'm more of a people's person, but technical side is something I still need to be good at.
yeah,
And so I cannot judge when things are hard. When I like both of the things, that's when I make a good judgment.
That's very smart. Yeah.
I think the people part I really love a lot more. Just interacting with people, kind of helping people through the Frisbee team. That is the biggest enjoyment I had, just leading and helping people. But the technical side too, like building kind of any of the small projects that I built, which actually had some contribution somewhere, those also felt pretty cool. So it is a balance, and I like the people side more. But of course, the technical side is, and somehow I really like just people who are good at the technical things and who build stuff, like some of my wingies and you, just like kind of learning things from them, learning concepts. Like when somebody explains, okay, this is how this code works and this does that.
Yeah.
Like I can just sit and listen for the tech, which is so I wouldn't be able to do that. That would take more time for me, but just I would love to still understand what's going on there.
All right.
So I think that's my balance.
I'll talk more about that stuff with you. Help me sit. Okay, fine. You mentioned MBA and people's things. We went to HSBC together. You want to tell a little bit about, just give a background about what HSBC was, and then what do you take away from it that you really apply in your life every day?
So HSBC is a business case competition, and actually how we went to it is a pretty funny story. We'd heard about it, but weren't really too invested in it. But then messaged me, and we somehow formed a team together. Our current Frisbee captains, they were our other two teammates. And I remember first round was like just some random written round. Still wasn't too invested. Second round was okay, one game round where we pulled 3 hours game. We had to play some Tetris, so the bomb was some. But then we lost our minds over it. We all had headaches after that. And Siddhi and Megan, they had to do some tar of annoying. But I think that those 3 hours are where we like, okay, dude, this was fun. So much this is. And I think then got more seriously actually studying business concepts and whole frameworks about how you think about markets and businesses and how you different frameworks of how do you approach a case study. And I think that was really, really fun. And we had an online round, then we got to travel to Bombay, present to judges over there. Just the whole experience, that's again a huge learning experience. And I think the biggest takeaway, which I remember saying this to you guys in the cab on the way back, and even now, is just when the people you enjoy working with and doing stuff with, it just makes things so much easier. Like the things he did, I remember we were preparing for our case study and we played Frisbee till I think 12 a.m. And we said, no, 3-hour case study. We planned it, okay, 3-hour case study. Frisbee practice will end at 10. We'll start at 10:30. 1:30 will be done.
Yeah.
Frisbee practice ended at 12. 12:30, we're like, I remember honestly like, no, why do we have to do this? But Vadar and me, we bought like pens and sketch pens. And we did it. Yeah. We sat, and I think that really helped us actually travel to Bombay. It really helped us go to the next round. And so I realized like you go through those hard times, but if it's with people you enjoy, it just makes everything worth it. And I think that made me realize, okay, this is any job that I do, I need to find people like this. People, supportive people who I enjoy working with, and then automatically like the work I do will be really fun. So that was the biggest learning.
Find good people to
Find good people to do it and work hard. And we definitely worked hard, but then it was fun working together.
Yeah, I think we could work hard because we were with people that we enjoyed spending time with. Well, I don't see myself doing that with people I didn't enjoy spending time with. Like a lot of the times we did so much extra preparation than was required. So I think it was like a very uphill battle for us because we didn't have a lot of background in it. But we still did it. And I think our preparation got us through a lot of the rounds more than just raw skill or talent.
Definitely. That's another thing I learned, like just about the details. I think that's one thing you really push for. Like anything that you had to do it extra special. That's something we got complimented for. Vardhan got a mic for us in the round we had to do, the round before Bombay.
Dad brought that up though. But Dad was the person who...
Even that, okay, we pitched to my parents. We made a whole script. We sat together, memorized our script. A lot of extra things. So just the small details, we had it covered. And you really pushed for that. And we all said, okay, yes. As Vardhan said, yes, we have to do this. Pitch to parents. Wingies asked random questions. All that extra effort was really, really worth. So that's another good learning from there. Like just if you're doing something, you would do it full on, all in.
Yeah.
I think that.
Oh man.
That was
we learned a lot of frameworks and mental models throughout the journey. There were those seminars that they took. We learned a bunch of things ourselves. Those were more management things. But did you learn anything outside of that was very helpful for you that you took away from the HSBC competition?
So one of the biggest things I learned is all the different frameworks we did and the different things that helps us solve a case study. I think once we got through all of that, I realized the crux of the thing is that if you can explain a summary of what you're doing, explain the problems properly, just a simple way explain your solutions and why your solutions will help. That's enough.
That's enough.
And if you can present that well, that's the biggest lesson. Like you can have whatever you have written, if you can present that crisply, clearly, and well, that's all. That could have won us the case study.
Yeah, true.
And so all the different frameworks, yes, you can't just directly in the beginning learn this. You need to go through that learning phase. Okay, these are the different frameworks. These are, okay, porters, five forces, entrance, all of that. But like to do well in a case study, I feel it's just these few simple things.
Clarity of thought.
Clarity of thought. What is your solution? How do they help? And how do you explain it? Those three things, if you can do that clearly and crisply, I think that's a huge lesson. Like there's a lot of complexity, but there's just few things you have to do really well. And presenting is a huge thing. Can you present that really well?
Yeah, I think that last, I think a lot of the things that I'm picking up from this conversation is just like, you can put a lot of effort in throughout, like for the 80% of the like duration of whatever you're doing. But the last 10, 25% actually even is super important. And like you need to really deliver in that. Definitely. I think everything we've talked about, like Frisbee, maths, CS courses, HSBC right now, it just all comes down to that final moment of evaluation. You should really perform well in that.
Exactly. But you still have to go through that 80%.
Oh yeah, true.
That's something you have lived through. I've lived through that. If we didn't put in that hard work of HSBC of actually understanding everything, we wouldn't have come to this realization.
True.
If we didn't do the grunt work of just playing Frisbee when you don't understand what's going on, if we didn't put in the hard work of 9 p.m. to 12 a.m., anytime I tell this to people, like we had practice from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m., they're like, you're practicing it. What are these ungodly hours you're picking this thing up? Like, if we did put in those hours, we wouldn't have learned this much. So that effort also matters. And then those moments matter.
That moment. Well, like I remember I was practicing hammers all year. I never threw any match. Like, I mean, some practice matches I would throw. But that one Ashoka game, one hammer, I was like, I'm preparing for this hammer for the last year.
Oh, I would tell more about this hammer. We were down by 4 and we somehow clawed it back, and now we're at the one corner of the field, and so Vadan threw a hammer across, which is tough. And the hammer perfectly floated, and the person who caught it, Balsha, he just had to walk a few steps back. That's perfection for a hammer.
That is odd, but like the preparation for that year, just kept throwing hammers. Like my arm was sore. I remember putting ice on my arm sometimes because it's like good move. Like I have an extra muscle in my hand here somehow now. Like my other arm doesn't have it. This arm has it.
Purely dedicated.
This is the hammer muscle.
This is the hammer muscle.
Oh man, so like I think that is true. Like you have to put in the effort, but like at the end you have to clutch. Man, okay, fine. One more question. We went a lot of like very solution oriented things. Obviously, it's a case competition. What did you learn about like finding solutions, decision making there? Like, what are some things that you picked up throughout the competition? Did you pick anything new up?
I think a lot of new things, especially when we solved a case study together. Kind of, there were a lot of ideas thrown in from different people, but like, how do you kind of combine those ideas to something good in extremely short time? There is no time. And I think that's one more thing we learned. Like, someone would give an idea, and in 10 seconds we have to make a decision. Is this idea good?
Yeah.
Okay, it's good. Start working on it.
True.
And when we worked like that as a team, like, okay, this is good. Let's start working on it. 2 people do that. 2 people do this. Hey, that's a huge thing. Like, if you have supportive people around you, and like you make a decision, everyone believes in it, and now you start doing it fast. So like, just there is no time to think about, okay, what happens if I fail, what this, what that. No, there's no 3 hours. 3 hours flat. A lot of things you have to do in those 3 hours. Like, you make the case and then make sure it's in right order, all of that. So you have to make decisions extremely fast.
Yeah.
And so more than all the frameworks, everything is just sitting together. Of course, yeah, the ideas are important, how creative those ideas can be, but more than that, just how quickly can you make a decision? How quickly can you, delegate, these people do this, these people do this.
Yeah.
Can you combine things together? Those matter a lot, man.
Yeah. And I think like it naturally kind of came to you to do some of like the more leadership things in our HSBC competition as well, because you were the senior, you had already led us. So I think you had to do a lot more of that than but I think again,
So much so, I had a lot of fun there. I had a lot of learning there as well. Like, this is different sort of leading, but this is the fast-paced environment. I think that's the best thing. And there is no like one, again, here, same thing. There is no hierarchy.
nothing. I mean,
If that's there, then that's just the whole system fails. Everybody has to take their own decisions as well. Like,
True.
okay, if you believe in this, go start work on personal. Give me a paper on this. Give me a page on your idea.
Yeah.
We did that. I think in the previous rounds, someone said, okay, this is the idea. Said, okay, go work on it.
Work on it.
Give me a drawing and let me understand it.
Yeah.
And so I think that we did that really well. I think all four of us. I think what
We worked together really well though.
I think
That was great. Oh man. Wait. Okay. One more thing. I mean, I have like a set of questions, but did it change the way you looked at approaching life moving forward? Like, did it give you more of, okay, I want to be into consulting or MBA or something like that? Like, did this competition change the way you think about life?
yes. And just I realized that, okay, in a whole MBA, you just solve like around 300 case studies. I'm like, wow, this is something like I would actually enjoy because that's all we did, like solve case studies.
Yes.
We a problem, very incomplete information you know about the company, and you have to try giving solutions to that. And that's what an MBA is, and that's what you do in MBA. I'm like, okay, this is something I would enjoy. So I think that's the biggest lesson from this is like, this is something I would enjoy, and I think this is what I should do.
So you found your like where you want to get.
I look like a direction, which is really rare because like me finding, okay, I won't exactly know like this is what I want to do, but this competition definitely said that, okay, pointed me in the right direction, which I'm super grateful for. So yeah, that's a big thing.
Like, what are some of the more memorable moments for you though? Like throughout the competition, what stands out? Was it like some of the worst moments where we like, okay, fine, I don't know if we're gonna make through, or
I think this is the 2-3 moments that come to mind. First one is after we pitched in the online round before going to Bombay.
yeah,
We just blew them away. We spent a lot of effort making our pitch deck.
yeah,
It was very colorful, a lot of drawings, and we pitched it really well. I remember, after you pitch, there's supposed to be questions. They had no question. They just complimented us like, amazing drawing, amazing this, amazing that. And I just remember after that, as soon as we cut the call for the meeting, we all just create, and we were all so happy, like, wow, 3 a.m. and we worked this, it was completely worth it. And I remember walking back and we all went and ate lunch and we were all so happy that day. And that was definitely a huge moment. And then traveling to Bombay, spending time together in Bombay, wow, we had too much fun. Bombay, illegal. There are a lot of things that we did which was amazing. So fun together. Just sitting in the room, and we had on Frisbee, playing in the like amp caused some damage. I don't think the hotel knows about. Shh. But yeah, and like the presentation where we fully like we just got it wrong there.
yeah, we got it wrong.
We didn't time ourselves properly, and I think our
5 more minutes is what we need.
5 minutes.
Like we just messed up that last organization.
True.
If we had that, I think
We would have,
we've clutched it.
because our solutions are amazing. We just didn't present it properly. And that's a huge learning from that. That was one moment where we said, okay, we did everything right. Our light deck was insane, the drawing, the clarity, but we didn't present properly.
That's true, man.
Yeah, those 3 lessons. But I would always take away the travel, the first round.
Yeah.
And I think it ended in nicely. It was a huge learning for all 4 of us.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do all the preparation, but you have to be smart sometimes. Like, just, okay, stop all of this. Let's all sit together and organize, and let's learn how to present this.
Yeah.
That's more valuable than actually making it a little better. So I think that's a big learning, and that's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
It's like a huge learning. Damn, it didn't have to come like that. You could have won. And like just slip the learning. Just don't know learning had to slap it onto us.
I remember we came back in the car, we were discussing all the things that we picked up, all our favorite moments. That was I really like that. I don't know, man. I think it's like that. I think it's kind of like a mini spirit circle for us. I think Frisbee just keeps coming back.
We yap too much for Frisbee for us.
But yeah, true.
We were on Frisbee team, but
I don't think we can stop talking about Frisbee 8 years together. Like, it's impossible.
definitely.
Man, okay. I'll do something with the people as well. So when you started management society, right, not a lot of people would show up because, see, anyways, for classes, only so few people show up. I was surprised that people would actually turn up to like a Thursday evening lecture / session about management concepts, because first of all, we don't get that many management placements in our campus, right? Because it's not something that we get. On top of that, getting people interested in getting them to a CAD block is such a big thing. and you would show up, man. Like, I don't know why or what like made you show up, but I want to know a little bit more about that. Like, sometimes it would just be you and like a couple of other people, and we talk about like management things. And yeah, I was always surprised. I was like, he keeps coming, and then you take notes. You'd actually take it very seriously, and like I was very happy with that because obviously I would put a lot of effort into preparing whatever we were presenting. But yeah, like what made you come, and like why were you there?
I think I think just those 2 hours in the management society meets the amount of things I would learn just in general about whether it's about businesses or about some framework, anything. Like, I don't think I've got that learning anywhere else in college. Like, I don't know, the first meet I attended, like, I was just, okay, Thursday, I'm not doing much, let's just go. And I went and you just taught like some concept about, I think it was about Porter's 5 forces, and there was some case study that you guys are discussing, and I was mind blown. I'm like, this is amazing stuff. We're an amazing teacher. I'm learning so much. Like, every Thursday I'm coming. Like, every Thursday, like, okay, I'll go and wing up my wing. You're coming in today. The walk is too much. You at least drop me to there. If you want to go back, you go back. So every day I would take my wing. And I think it's just that I would learn so much and I would have so much fun in those 2 hours. And that's why every Thursday I would just be, okay, I have to go there.
Yeah.
But I have to ask you this, like, what made you keep coming, even though there was, like, say, not many people?
I never like. So one thing that I personally have made a decision on is like I wouldn't let my decisions be affected by the results a lot. Like the number of people showing up is kind of like it's not in my control. Obviously, I can do a lot of things. Like fine, I can market it well, I can do the lectures, but like in the end, I can't control. And I just thought I would not let that be the reason that I stopped doing those. Like people not showing up should not ever be the reason that I stopped doing what I was doing. And like I remember once, like last to last time, I think the last lecture that was just before the competition, no one came up. Right. But I still prepared a lot. Like see everything that we do, it's like say 8-9 hours of preparation. And that is just active preparation. Like it does not include all the years of like management videos I've watched, like business things I've learned and heard, right? So those like randomly show up throughout the meets as well. So like let's say 9-10 hours of like focused preparation for one thing. And that is usually spread out over 2 days. Like that Thursdays, because I had Thursdays very open. That's why this is on Thursdays actually. And then weekend most people go home. So Thursdays was like the perfect day. And Frisbee is on Friday. So can't be on Friday. So all of my Thursday would just go in preparing management meet, like those slides and the concepts. And I would just try and like figure out, okay, what are the real world examples I can give? How can I relate it to some concepts? And I put a lot of effort into those. And to be honest, when I started learning everything, I kind of just did it because I was running the business and I wanted to learn a lot about business as well. Because I was like, I need to sharpen my axe, right? And then when I was doing that, I thought, okay, why not just like teach it? Because, you know, there will be other people who are interested in this as well. So my whole motivation was to, first of all, learn for myself. So even if other people didn't show up, if I learned, that was a win for me. Passing it on to other people was always a byproduct. And like I told you, right? Like I always think about, okay, my impact, if I want to get it beyond me, it has to travel down. So I always thought of it like that. And if I could create at least a small culture of people who are really passionate about management, at least. And thing is, management does not mean that you have to go into an MBA after this. At every level, you can do some sort of management. Like, let's say you're the Frisbee captain. There's some management concepts you can learn there to make it better. You're doing your job as a programmer, you can do some management concepts. And you can, you know, present well. I would talk about a lot of things that would just randomly help you. And I would just try and make sure that, you know, if you come to the meet, you'd at least walk away with 3-4 concepts that are very useful that you can take throughout your life and apply them. Because whatever I've learned, I just try to pass it on. So it was never about how many people showed up. It was always about if at least one person came, their life had to get better. And that is why I just kept doing it. And I always thought, okay, fine, if I just keep doing it, there'll be people who will come back to it. And I mean, you, Akash, like other people just keep coming. And that is all I cared about. I was like, okay, if they keep coming up and whatever session they come to, they should get the full value of. Because I am delivering something. It cannot be bad. And that is what just kept me going. Okay, they are expecting something next Thursday. I have to be there. And I mean, mostly that, like, I just wanted to do the best for the people who are coming. Because doesn't matter if it's 5 or 50. Like, if they're giving you their time, and time is the most valuable resource anyone has. Like, I understand, if you're walking all the way at 8:30 at night after like you had an early lunch, or maybe you skipped lunch and you're gonna have a tank, and you're there for like 1.5 hours, which is like twice the length of a normal lecture. You're sitting there, like I have to keep you first of all entertained. Like that is one thing that I thought a lot about. Okay, how can I make them lighter? How can I make it more interesting? How can I make it more thought provoking so that I can keep someone's attention for 1.5 hours? And then once I did that, okay, how can I impart the most like skills, knowledge
like tricks, tips, whatever, and make it engaging, something that people can take away from, a lot away from. And yeah, it was the reason that I kept doing it. Obviously, was just people showing up. If people didn't show up, I don't know. Like I would still keep doing it, and I would still keep posting them on the like YouTube channel and keep continuing that. But I honestly just felt again the weight of responsibility there. That if people are showing up, even if one person comes, I have to deliver the best lecture that I can.
So that is powerful. There's a lot of courage also to do.
And I just really did not care about like people not showing up. I was like, that will never be the reason I stopped delivering these. Like there have to be other reasons. Like if I was not on campus, yeah, that's a different story. And like a lot of that happened because you're traveling a lot and Frisbee took a lot of time. But if I was on campus and we just made it happen. No. And I mean, you talked about your wingies coming up to like you just pull them from random wingy. Like I would just see like every week one random new person. I'm like, who is this? You just walk in and say, I'm like, ah, fine, wingy. And I met so many of your wingies that way. Really nice people. I don't know how you pull that off. Like you have some like I think I've seen a lot of friendships on campus. I think you have some of the best wingies or friends. Like they just are so supportive and helpful. Just randomly you can just call them. Like I had not seen people this comfortable with their friends. I just call them and make them do things. I like ask them for help. That's it, not make them do things. Okay, okay, that's a poorly paced. But yeah, just ask them for help. You can just be like, oh, can you just come do this for me, or can you help me with this? Like I've seen you do so much of that, and you guys also have a lot of like fun. Like I've heard the stories. Like how do you manage to do that? Like that is, I think, one of the biggest things you could impart if you could talk about that.
There is a mixture between luck and actually actively finding friends like this. So in the beginning of college, it's fully luck dependent, like who you're next to. But in those groups, there are certain people you connect with.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it all started. It started with one group. There are a few people there who
Also, keep talking. I'll check if the recording is going on properly. That's it. Yeah.
I just few people I really love talking to, and then gravitate towards that.
Okay, come. So yeah, sorry. Combination of luck and
Combination of luck and actually actively seeking out the people you really want to spend time with.
yeah.
Yeah, that happened over the wingies there in the beginning. Few of them stayed, but like you find new people you connect with. And there just 2-3 friends where I really connected to them. And like, I would really love to spend more time with them. I could just talk to them about anything. And different kind of friends I can talk to. One about just when I'm feeling down, just go to this person. When I need some advice on something, I go to this person. So there are different friends like this.
Yeah.
I think I honestly didn't actively seek out any of this. It just happened. I am super grateful for that too. But yeah, just friends, wingies, Frisbee team, it's just always been amazing people. And I don't know, really lucky that college has been like that.
Oh, still, like it's unusually good. Like it's like I don't know. In math terms, it'd be like 3-4 standard deviations away from the mean.
Maybe one thing that I always try to be the best friend possible. Like, always try to be as kind as possible, as encouraging. I don't think it makes sense to ever criticize someone. Or just always try encouraging them. And so a lot of times I just try to be the best person I can be around them. And try to be as supportive, try to have as much energy when they're feeling down. And I always know when someone's feeling down, and I kind of am a people pleaser. That kind of helps in some, especially in making friends. Or like when I know when someone's feeling down and I try to help them a lot. So I think it always comes back to you that way. Like you can just be the best person you can be the most kind person you can be the most empathetic person you can be. And I think that really helped me attract the same kind of people.
Yeah.
And so I just, be the best friend. I just try to be the best friend I could be in many different ways. Like if people needed something, or just do things for them without expecting anything.
Yeah.
And I think that automatically just comes back to you in different ways.
Were you always like that, or like was that like something you picked up on after you came to college?
Actually, this has one funny story. I used to get angry quite often. I remember in 7th grade, I got angry once, and I took one of some person, like a friend, and I choked him on the wall. And I pushed him out of, like, he went flying out of class. And that moment, like some switch went off, and I'm like, no, I cannot ever lose control like this. And after that, I don't think I've ever gotten angry.
Wow.
Like every time I've gotten, I don't think I ever screamed at someone. I don't think I ever like gotten angry. Like, of course, external is internal, everything internal, which is also kind of a problem. It's lucky slight problem, but like external anger, like never after that. I think always been very, very calm on the outside and very, very understanding.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to actually get me frustrated and
Yeah.
get me complaining and get me angry. Like, yeah, I've made like, I'm like, anger doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
And I've fully understood of how not to get angry now. So I think that is something I'm going to live by. Like, I'm never going to get angry at people.
Doesn't help.
Doesn't help.
Doesn't help.
Not worth it.
Not
Not
at all.
worth it at all. Like, not worth it screaming at someone for some mistake. Like, it's not worth it. But yeah, that switch turned in 7th grade. And from then, I think life has been a bit internally, when you're alone, yeah, kind of a little bit tougher there. But less when you're with people, like, if you, at least these things have helped me that.
I mean, I think people who are empathetic like that, people who are understanding, I think they have faced all of those things and like they understand that happening to them. Like I feel like when I see people messing up in ways I have, like I feel so empathetic. I don't feel angry. I'm like, bro, I have been there. I have done that, and I have nothing but like love for you, because it's okay. Like in this situation, I am at the receiving end, but I don't know. Like I don't think I can get mad at that. I think
Wow,
a lot of people, when they're understanding that they have had those mess ups in life, and you've learned it that way to be understanding because you've been there in that in those like shoes messing up. Is that the case, or is that like is this understanding just because of that one incident where the switch flipped?
that's a huge part. I think like when somebody does something that some mistake that they've done, you can yeah, you're in their shoes. You imagine, okay, they didn't mean to do this. Like they just happened. Like, it's like perfect. Okay, I'm gonna piss off. So after the that rarely ever happens. I think that's a huge part. But yeah, also I don't know what happened to me that time, but I just realized I don't want to be this kind of person. I don't want to cause somebody else some sort of. I don't want to make someone feel small.
Yeah.
Make someone feel bad. Like that should never ever come from me. I always have this thing like their mind is doing enough to them. Like their mind is already so negative. Like, it's generally like that. Two people are always self-critical, like, always negative. So if I am again being negative and critical, like that doesn't help at all. Like if I am talking to someone, like and so, people on college, at college made me realize that. Like when I just making fun of people, but when I'm like say, okay, oh, you did this today, you're not good. Something I said something along those lines. It just at that moment I saw, okay, that person is already kind of struggling through this, and if I'm adding to that, like it's just adding no value there. So I just realized, okay, no, that's not who I want to be. I don't ever want to be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this the other way. Be as encouraging.
Just took a decision.
Took a decision. And it's just one decision and like say, okay, no, I cannot. And every time there's a temptation to be something like because it's very easy to. It's very easy. Very easy. But you just decide like, no, I will not make this person feel that way.
And I'm so happy to hear that.
And that
We need more people like that, Ceri. Like honestly, we need if more people were like that, the world would be such a like nice place. Imagine, like that's what I sometimes, bro. There have been moments where you talk to people, and I'm like, bro, I don't know how he's not mad, because I would get like secondhand mad. I mean, bro, I would be mad if I was in his place. I would be pissed. And then you're like, no, I just talk to people. And I'm like, yo, like I don't understand. Yeah. He is like unusually calm and like composed, and that's something I really admire because it is very difficult. Like you're right, it's so easy to be angry. It's so easy to be rude, unkind, and just get mad at people and just get all of that out because it's something that's bothering you. And if you can scream at someone else and it can make you feel better, it's so tempting to do that, right?
yeah, tempting.
And you have to like fight that urge. I think somewhere along the way you just I don't know made that decision, and I'm so happy to hear that. I mean it's inspiring. Like I want to be like that as well. Like I want to be more composed. It's something that I mean obviously I want to get always better at that. And you can always treat people better, and like you just see these few people and you're like okay, it's possible, right? You can be someone like that because sometimes even if your bar rises, right? You just see the bar rise so high. You're like, okay, fine, I can be like this person. And especially when it comes to like having a positive mindset, talking to people in a very like encouraging and positive way, that is something that I picked up on a lot from you. Like, I know there's one thing that I don't know if you do it consciously or unconsciously, subconsciously or unconscious. You do this thing that consciously as concerning.
I have long and like saintly environment then.
But like you always give a lot of credit to people.
like I have just seen you do it. Like every spirit circle, every decision, whenever something goes right, it's always okay. This person is the one who suggested that. They encouraged this. They were the person who came up with it. And you, it's so free with giving credit. Like it's so easy again as a leader to just take all the credit because you first of all get all the blame, right? So it's only fair that you take the credit, right? But then it's so easy to do that. But I've seen you just give away credit like so easily. Like, oh no, that is a like even though I saw some decisions in like last NCUC that were like your call. Right? There are a lot of inputs, but your call. And then when you made the right call, you gave the credit to the person who suggested it, right? And I mean, I get that. That is the correct thing to do, but it's so easy not to do that. It's also something I've picked up and I've just really admired. I just think it brings out the best in people because your like troops are essentially just like so much more motivated and happy to work on. I don't know if that is again some conscious decision. What was that like?
I think this is something my dad told me. I remember, I don't know which grade, but he told me a story about Abdul Kalam and Vikram Sarabhai. They both were in, was it something ISRO related? And so when a rocket crashed, then this Vikram Sarabhai, or I don't know if I'm mistaken, but he would go and take all the blame and everyone would fire like, you wasted so much money. But when things went well, he sent Abdul Kalam, okay, you go talk, you get all the praise. Oh, I know my dad telling me this and I didn't really know where to apply this out of that, but I know anything where I give credit, I just feel so happy inside. Like and every time I'm giving credit, like I'm waiting to give it. Like I can't keep it inside me. Like if I keep it inside of me, I think I'll just like to be some internally burst that'll back. Like I have to like, okay, if this person remotely contributed, it must be known. Like that person has done something good. Like what's the point of me keeping it inside? Like it's just not capable. So like just give it out and let everyone hear that.
Yeah.
And that helps the team, that helps the person.
Yeah.
And over you cannot go wrong over there. Like you just the whole team's environment is lifted up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that lesson over there has really kind of trickled down here. That's something I will.
Like these random stories sometimes they just come up and change your life. Man.
True, actually.
When friendships, okay, fair. What do you value the most in the friendships that you've built? Like you've had a lot of friends, and in college, that is one of the things that I figured out. You meet like a massive, like variety of people, and you make a lot of different kinds of friendship. Like I think in school you don't make that many different kinds of friendship because everyone is mostly the same. Because you're growing up, and what also happens, I feel, is that you grow up together, so you grow up in a similar way. So there's not that much like differentiation in the way people are.
Right.
Maybe there was. I didn't experience a lot of that.
It's yeah, you're right. Huge.
College, the variety is insane. Right. But like, what do you look for in friends now? Like, what do you value in friendships you've built, like past and now future? Also, what is that valuable thing?
I trust. Okay, I'm always there for you, and no matter what happens, anytime you need, just call me and I will be there for you. And the other way around, it's like I can trust that you will be there for me. And that's just the basis of it. And initially, you don't know that.
True.
So initially, it's all you will go about it the same way. But I think eventually, it builds into that. Okay, how much can I trust the person?
Yeah.
How much and being comfortable with that person. How much do I actually have to pretend versus how much can I just be fully myself?
Yeah.
And just fully comfortable being yourself, like just being fully you, like no like acting, nothing, just fully being you.
Priceless.
Right. And if you find people like that, and college is full of people like that, it's the old Frisbee tea, like you just everyone's uninsured up there. So it's like if you pretend to be someone else, you will not fit in. That's never, I've never heard that concept. Normally you act and then you fit in here. If you act, you're not fitting in. Gone, eliminated. Frisbee tea, if you're not yourself, like hey,
Oh, I swear, man. Oh, well, I keep thinking about this a lot. Honestly,
like
that environment is like that.
I think you're just fully yourself. Like you can just know that no matter what you say, with someone more stupid, then somehow the most stupid thing you can come up with, no, this person will go on level further. So I think that will be themed actually. And I think this NCC, that realization came up. We had really stupid people. We are stupid, but there is somehow multiplies together. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, just that trust and how comfortable can you be? Who actually you have to try versus how much can you just be? Those are the two.
Those are the two things.
I think. What do you think about that?
And friendship for me are like I think loyalty is the biggest thing for me. Like everything else aside, like you could just be very absent. You could be, not that great a friend in traditional sense. But for me, loyalty is like the biggest thing. Like how much can I mean, it's trust only. I trust and loyalty are very, very similar. But yeah, like loyalty is just the word I use because I think it sums up so many things because you can tell, like whenever you're doing something, you can always tell if it's, are you exhibiting loyalty or are you not? Right. And I think it just speaks a lot to me. Just that word, it means so much. And that's what I look for in friends. Like, and for me, it's a very binary thing. Like, you're either loyal or you're not. And because there's no like spectrum of loyalty. This loyalty is a very binary thing, I feel. Okay. You just, yeah, if you're loyal, you're loyal. If you're not loyal, you're not loyal. Right. And that makes it very easy to figure out because the world is very chaotic. It's so much going on. I like to simplify things. And I know friendship is not something that you can easily simplify because there's so much spectrum, but I feel the core friends that you have, they have to have loyalty. And that is, loyalty is just something you build and you maintain it. Like, and for me, loyalty is default and people have to break that to get out of being friends. Like I assume loyalty, right? And I think it's a two-way street. So obviously I give my loyalty as well, but loyalty is always broken. I don't think it's ever built. I mean, it could be built, but for me, it's just default.
So you're always assuming that the person is loyal.
Because you have to get, like,
But that is also a lot different than what most people do. Like you always assume the worst and then build it.
yeah, I think see, it burns you a lot. Like, obviously, you have bad experiences because of that, and there's pain associated with it. But then I would rather believe that the world is good. And I mean, obviously, you can filter out some people in the initial judgment. But then people who get to that, you just assume loyalty, I feel. And people show up, man. Like, if you trust people and if you give them the benefit of the doubt, people show up and they will be there for you. Some people choose not to do that. That's okay. That's their own decision. Just roll with it. Anyways, I think loyalty is what really is important to me. Because it doesn't matter, man. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not there for me, like, the last, whatever, 100 days. But, like, when I need it, can I, like, the same thing. Can I just call you and can you just, like, travel across the country and be like, no, I am coming because you need me. Bro, I mean, traveling, yeah, fuck. I remember, like, I met one of your friends in the bus that we were going to, like, Secunderabad and all. But like, is there like one story that you can tell from your wing or friends that you really remember? I know there's a lot of it is just securely stored away, but is there like a publicly available story?
Yeah, there are a few actually. And I was just thinking, like, just, last month in the campus, just thinking about these things, like, okay, what are the stories? And I just always remember laughing. Like, laughing is something, especially this NCC planning, just laughing and laughing and laughing. Something someone would say, just repeat the joke like 10 times. Every time someone will laugh. Every tournament that we go for, there's just so much laughing. Every time we're together, just laughing with my wing. Someone makes a joke, laughing. So I think that's a huge thing. Like that. I think one story I can tell is we were in Goa with the wing, and I remember morning we decided, okay, we're going to go for breakfast. And I remember one of my friends he had just woken up, and few of us, we were ready to go. We had woken up a little earlier, so we were more fresh. And he's like, guys, we have to go see the sunrise. So we have to go see the sunrise. And so we're like, okay, yeah, sunrise. So, and then I started like, wait, Goa is a different coast. Sunrise happens on the other. And then I told him, yo, there is no sunrise. That's also coast. And he's like, so if we leave fast, we can make it. I'm like, nah. After I just laughed, yeah, but I remember we went to the beach and played Frisbee over there. Frisbee came again there. We just watched, there's no sunlight. He realized this. But I know all the time you laugh is because somebody has just it's just stupid. But like, I just remember just laughing so much. I remember hearing this somewhere that you will never regret never regret laughing more. Like that, you'll never regret laughing. True. And so that's something like I just laugh so much, especially Frisbee to wing. I don't know how much we've laughed. Like, it's just insane. It was like, oh my God. You spend like 5 minutes with a frisbee kicker. You keep on laughing. And that
A dull moment.
never is sums it up. Like you just come out of laughing. You just guarantee you join frisbee.
This one marketing campaign for Frisbee. Join Frisbee. Be happy. And I mean, a little bit more of an introspective question now. What have all these friendships taught you about yourself? Right. I think a lot of relations that you go through, they teach you a lot about yourself. They teach you a lot more about yourself actually. Than I mean, life as well. But like you learn a lot about yourself when you go through friendships and other things. What have those things been for you, Kapil?
A lot of friendships I feel have reinforced the importance of my values. Like saying there are a lot of people who will be like me, who will share the same values, who will be empathetic, but there are a lot of people who won't. And that just makes me feel like, okay, that this is being empathetic is a huge thing for me. And this is reinforced like, okay, I have to be this way. There are friends like that, they're amazing people, but there's some things that you just don't agree with. So those friendships kind of reinforce those values to me. And I think that's a huge thing. Like, okay, I know and I will amazing people, but yeah, my values are priority. I will stick to that no matter what. So that's a huge learning from the friendships. And just the more time I spend with different people, there's just so many different perspectives. Like, again, like you said, in college, so many different upbringings, so many different ways people have done things. There's just too much. So it's just awesome to see different perspectives, and there's just so much to learn. Every time you talk to someone, you're like, oh, okay, this person does this that way. This person views money this way, and it's just interesting. Like, okay, I've been brought up looking this some money thing is something. It's very obvious. Like, everybody has a relationship with money, and that's how they've been brought up. It's very interesting. Okay, we have been brought up this way. This person has been brought up this way, and like you can just see the different perspectives, and like, okay, there's nothing right and wrong here as well. It's just the way things are.
Yeah.
And so like different friendships are just taught this to me. Like, okay, you have been brought up in like your way, and just stick to that. You don't need to change for other people. You will find your friends. If you are truly you, then you will find your best people. Like, you don't need to change. And that's what it's taught me. Yeah, and there will be people who you'll have to like change a little bit to fit in, and then like no, that's not right. True. But the true teaching is that you just be you, fully you, be your dumb stupid personality, and then the people around you, other dumb people, will come and do it fine. That is like, okay, yeah, those are true friends.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest learning.
Man, that's amazing. That's such a wise thing to say though. Like, I don't know how you came up with that.
I don't know how. Be dumb.
Be dumb. That is the best advice. Okay. We'll talk about Socialize a bit. The newest platform, new social media. Yeah. You want to tell everyone what Socialize is? Like, not everyone has heard of it. And I mean, because people have at this point, like, wait, how many minutes in? We're like 1 hour, 40 minutes in right now. There's probably like 5% people watching. So if this gets like 100 views, there's 5 people watching. There's those 5 people. What Socialize is, Ceri?
Socialize is and this amazing social media platform. And as soon as Vardhan told me about this idea, I was just mind blown. So we love our friends, especially in different cities. We really want to know more about them.
Okay, I'll just take the recording once. Yeah.
But just to be connected to them, Instagram, there's just reels and attention and likes and comments, and like people kind of put up an image. And in WhatsApp, there's a pressure to be online, and half the time goes in saying, hi, how are you, long time. And so the idea that we have here is that weekly you get a mail on Sunday morning. You know that the mail is coming to you, and that mail just has things that your friends are going through, and not just general, okay, they had a good week. What did they do this week? What did they enjoy this week? What is something tough that they're going through? And from there, you can have better conversations. But this just replaces the whole need of the addicting part of social media. I don't need to go through reels. I don't need to pressurize to put my best image forward. Nothing. Just be yourself on a platform and be yourself. And that authentic self of yours is portrayed to all your friends. I think that as soon as Vardhan told this to me, I'm like, this is actually so cool. Like, I really want something like this. Like, every time I use Instagram, I regret. Okay, I went there to talk to my friend. I talked to my friend fine, but then there's just half an hour of reels and stories of things like it just messed up my brain. Now I just regret. Now I just regret connecting with that friend. I'm like, okay, why? But then this is just such a nice way. Like, I get to know what my friend is doing, and we don't have enough time to stay connected with everyone. But like, this is a perfect way to know something meaningful about that person. And so yeah, just a weekly mail, and all you have to do is during the week, just go on the Socialize website, just type anything about your week. It could be, and we have prompts there to help you also, and just post it. You don't have to be online with another person, nothing. Just 2 minutes a week, and that friend hears about you, and same way around. And Sunday morning, you get a mail, just one mail with all the updates. And so yeah, that's a very, very, very cool concept. It works. It works. It does the connecting part without all the negative parts of social media.
Like so few people got it. Like initially, like I told it to a bunch of people. There's always resistance, right? And I get that. Like, it's not for everyone. But I think you're one of the first people. I could just see it in your eyes that it made so much sense to you. And I don't know, like I think maybe because you've had poor experience in social media and Instagram, and I think it's very few people who hate Instagram as much as us. I do, and I think you're probably one of them, bro. Like we have to learn. Like so, we are trying to kind of use Instagram to also grow socialize, and we both really bad at it. Like horrible, terrible.
They don't even know how to adjust one photo.
So bad. Bro, we couldn't tag people, bro. Like we couldn't like figure out how to like repost that thing. So painful to go through. But like I never learned it because I really do not like it, and I'm always looking for some replacement, and that is why we built Socialize. But yeah, like what do you think? Like what do you think people in our like friend group or let's say people our age really struggle with in social media? Like what is the biggest problem with social media right now?
I think one thing is that's their escape.
Yeah.
And not there. Like this, my escape too. Like when there's something tough actually going on, it's just a way to it's just a reason, okay, I'm going to talk to this friend, but no, I will go watch all the reels and that'll just keep me away from the actual problems. And instead of having that conversation with a friend, of actually staying in touch, you just keep your mind away. And now when you're back at doing what you're supposed to do, you feel so much worse. There's just so much. I think regret is the biggest word. And regret is something like I've really felt with any social media, especially Instagram. Every time I use it, there's just some form of regret there. And when you go to connect with a friend, which is supposed to be such a
Pure activity.
pure, amazing activity, especially like with a school friend you've spent so much time with, but now different cities. And now when you go and there's a feeling of regret associated with that, like it's just painful. And I think that is where like, okay, there has to be a better way to do that. And I think that's what Socialize is. It definitely does that without the regret. There is no regret aspect there.
Yeah.
And that's something people struggle with. And it is just an escape, and the regret is just so hard to escape that because like there's so many people working
Built for that.
built to make you stay addicted to the platform.
Man. What are the challenges of? I mean, I know these things, but tell to everyone else like what are the challenges of working with Socialize? What is like how do you get something up and running? Like what are some things people won't even realize take so much effort to do? Tell everyone about a bit about that as well.
So getting people to actually use something new, I think that's something. Yeah. People are so used to the way they already do things. Instagram is just their way of life. And even though, like, I remember in the beginning, just saying, okay, 2 minutes a week. That's all you need to actually have a good experience with Socialize. But that 2 minutes a week, getting people to spend so tough. Oh my! Like, I remember like telling my sister 2 minutes a week. She's like, no. So you need to tell me why do I need to cancel? That's something like, okay, wow. People are just so used to the way they're doing things. Like anything new that comes. And like people love the idea. People say like, yeah, amazing thing you guys have built. But then how do you actually get them to use it? And that's a huge challenge. And that's something that's going to be really exciting to work through. But we realize that, okay, wow, for that is not easy. Not easy. We thought like, okay, 2 minutes a week, nothing. And then chill. Yeah, but 2 minutes a week it's literally nothing. Like imagine in I don't know how many minutes a week, but so that's the biggest challenge. And of course the whole tech portion of it, I'm super fascinated by all this what Vardhan has built there. But again, they're like
Simple only, bro.
simple, but like even like one small thing in a platform, like one small bug there, the bug seems really small, and the problem is just there's so many different lines of code, different things interacting there. that every coder knows that, there's a lot of things that go behind that one small feature. I remember in the beginning, I used to just say, yeah, prompt you should press and that should show up as italicized. Is it no, what that was? Well, then told me, yo ho nah. That took me some 10 hours of coding. I'm like, whoa, that is good. And I remember my friend actually told this. Yeah, when we click the prompt should show up, it should italicize. And he's like, yeah, you just get this done now. And then I realized, wow, okay. The text.
That was so tough, bro. Oh my god. Everything had to change for that.
Things like those. Things like that, where you don't realize until you actually I think Vardhan knows the true pain, but me just being there wow, this takes time.
Bro. Honestly, I forgot about that. That's why I see Mr. It happened 2 weeks ago. Okay, I completely forgot about it.
Oh, Apple always remember that. I remember how tough it was to you
That night. I pulled an all-nighter after so long for that, man.
Oh, that was the
That was an all-nighter, yeah. I swear, I showed it to Madan, so I had multiple interfaces. I did one cheap trick where it was there was two text boxes that would just show up the markdown in different format. And they're like, bro, what is this trash interface? Where are that few things? And I'm like, yo, why are you saying that? Because even I knew that it was bad. I was I just wanted to get it over with. But then they felt like, okay, fine. Now that you mentioned it, I have to fix it. And all night just spent doing that.
Any other challenges that you think? Anything?
I mean, I think it's not about figuring out what not to put.
Mm.
Those are because a lot of decisions are omissions, which I think are very, very difficult to figure out. Because people will always see the additions. There's so many things that we have to decide and omit. That's one big thing I feel. So many feature requests we got. We don't implement everything. Because you have to keep it true to the values of the thing.
No, actually, that's a huge thing. If people are investing in the idea, they're always thinking about, okay, this, they want this, I want that. You can't.
Omissions are one big thing.
Oh, yeah, that is.
And I think also is balancing it with our college lives, man. It's too hectic. Especially we went to the tournament, we went to the Empower people in the middle of the tournament. Us managing it with this. No, I know. Today you had one quiz, still had to do some work for socialize, and it's very hectic. And I think it's difficult to realize that. Because, I mean, this is not the only thing we do. We play Frisbee. We have our own projects you're doing that. Google Summer of Code and all of that stuff. And it's hectic, man. It takes a lot of time. And that's something that it's very difficult to realize because what most people think is, most people just do 3 things in college. They do acads, one club work or something, and then they do one different activity. So they think that, okay, they're also doing 3 things. And that time management is so tough. Because right now, after we record this, we're going to delete some bot accounts. And Ceri is going to work on getting more people in and helping us out. And I think reaching out to more people. I'm going to start and work on the reCAPTCHA again because I couldn't figure it out before. I have to fix it. And also Google sign-in has to be done, right? So we will do that after this. And it's already 12 o'clock after a very long day for us because he had a quiz in the morning, so I'm not sure how much he slept. But yeah, we have all of that work and then we still have to work on this. And we obviously want to make the best platform possible, but there's so much time constraint and figuring out what to work on, I think is a big challenge as well. Because there's so many things, there's at least 10, 15 things that we right now have on the board that we could work on. But figuring out and prioritizing things is very difficult. I think that's something that we've had to work very hard on.
Sure. Time management is I remember you had a session on time management.
Oh, that actually did really well.
Actually, that was also really, really cool. Some of the things you thought. I think you have really, in your college, the way you manage time is been crazy.
But pain it has been.
But a lot of lessons there. And I think that is one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah, I think that's because we're not doing only this, right? It's so tough. But when I told you about the idea, what do you think it was? Where do you see it going? Let's say 5, 10 years, right? And I think that really puts things into perspective because we won't remember all this italicized thing and it's adding Google Auth and all that stuff 10 years down the line. We'll just think about, okay, what impact do we want to have? And that's the kind of look I take at most things. That I don't think about the micro because if you think about the micro, you can get lost in the details. Right? You need to think of the big picture. So what is your big picture idea of socialize?
Nice. I think if we have a small group of really users who really feel our pain and who come to us and say, I am closer to my school friend. I am closer to my cousin because of you guys. I think that'll just be a huge achievement.
Yeah.
If we solve that problem for them. Like, just remove all that regret from them and just say, to you help me connect with that person a little bit more deeper. And I didn't have to go through Instagram. I think that'll just be everything. Yeah. I think that's a huge, that's just a goal. That's just a goal. Just to find that group of people who we can really, really help. Like, and this is just so meaningful. Just impact on this is like huge. Yeah. And there's impact on like such a personal level, because friends and connections are what we humans are here for. Like, just to build connections, and that's the biggest goal. Yeah, we want to remember this italicized thing, but when we help people like this, our pain especially, the pain we have, if I'm 100% sure there are people like that, and if we can help them with that pain, that is all we need to anything else?
No, I love that. That's all I want as well. Like, just that one person coming up and saying, okay, you know what, this has really been helpful. You know, like in the past week, so like I didn't make the podcast for a while, right? And in the past week, remember that day in Agrawal, someone mentioned the podcast. And then in the past week, like 3-4 times people mentioned it. They're like, oh, I saw that episode. And just random people like I've never had interaction with. And like I was walking with one of my, like they were walking with their friend. And I happened to know their friends. I was walking with them. And they mentioned it across like the conversation. And I was like, yo, like the podcast was also very useful to people. And we've been planning this for a while now. So I was like, you know, I need to do this. And like, especially with everything coming to an end now, I was like, okay, if we finally have time to take care of this. So I'm just, those small moments where people said that, okay, they enjoyed the podcast, this was helpful. I really like that. Like, I mean, I feel happy that, okay, the work that I'm doing is getting output. I mean, the end goal is obviously these conversations directly. Like after I stop the recording, the work is already done. Like I have already gotten my value. Anything on top of that is just extra for me. But yeah, like just getting those people to get that value, like your customers, consumers, users, right? Them feeling happy is like the end goal. Okay, a little bit fine. We'll move away from socialize. I think it's already been like almost 2 hours. So I want to wrap it up. I don't want to keep you for too long. Also, the room is getting really hot. It's summer. I think we're both sweating like mad. Okay, but like, okay, fine. Some last introspective questions. When you look back at college 10 years from now, what do you think you will think about the most? Like, what do you think will matter the most to you?
Yeah, spoken about this a lot, but just the friends you have made. The friends I've made, and the fun things you did in college. Frisbee, socialize, HSBC, and just the friends. I think that is a simple answer, but just the friends, the laughter, socialize, Frisbee. Those things. Like, not those just are such a big part of my life right now.
Yeah.
And I think that if I remember that, like I just know I'll be happy memories. But it has to be happy memories.
I like that. I like the simplicity of that. Little bit more of that is figured out. What are you trying to figure out about yourself right now? Like, what are you like trying to get at right now?
I think now there's gonna be a huge change, like moving towards, like, let's say a job, a corporate world. So I need to figure out there, like, okay, how can I actually add value to whatever I'm doing there? How there's gonna be different people I'm gonna work with. Like, it's not gonna be people my age, maybe a little older, whatever. There,
Yeah.
and maybe a lot of the challenges I've had in college is I, you know, I always want to work really hard, but there's always like a gap in what I actually do. So I have to kind of figure out, like, there'll be a balance when I work. There'll be a balance between friends. Now it's really easy to be with friends, but maybe at work it's going to take effort. But there's a lot of uncertainty involved in actually starting a job, starting an internship, and that's what everybody in my batch is talking about right now.
Yeah.
Where are you doing your PS2 6-month internship? Where are you going to get placed? All of that. So that's just a huge part, and it's on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
And everyone's really worried about it, but I'm just like, a little bit excited. Like, okay, it's going to be fully new.
Yeah.
And
You're optimistic?
yeah, I'm optimistic about it. Like, say, okay, this can be cool. I think that is the next part. I think just how a job is gonna be. And I think the other part is socialize. Like, I just want to see like how we can build that. That's more exciting. And this job thing is very uncertain, but like the socialize thing is just, that's also a lot of uncertainty. But like, we'll figure it out. There's a lot of excitement there. So those are the two.
We both are there. We'll figure something out. We got somewhere.
Yeah, those
One more thing. I know you listen to Tim Ferriss. right? And there's this one famous questions he asks at the end of all the podcasts, right? He asks, okay, if you had one big billboard that you could place outside, let's say the campus, what would you write on that? So what would you write, Sale?
And when I heard this for the first time, I actually thought about this myself at that time. And I was like, what would I write? And I was thinking, would I write a quote or not? But after this NCC at Pilani, I would just like join the Frisbee team. And this is my answer. Like, first years, come to college, join our jersey, laughing, and just doing some stupid thing. And say, join the Frisbee team.
Oh my god, I didn't expect that at all. No, my
I remember thinking about this like 2 months back. Like I thought about this question and I had no answer. I thought, okay, like maybe some quote about hard work or something. Like after NCC Pilani, join Frisbee, just join Frisbee. Whoa, it is my reward. And the man has to put it. Give work. That is ready to keep people. I keep people. I think I'm pointing or point the Frisbee.
Oh, the best advice. So I swear that is like the best advice I could give to a junior. Just join Frisbee. Just get in. It will change your life. Oh man. Okay, last question, Sari. It's been very, very long. Yapped too much.
Yeah.
A bit too much. What's next for you? What's coming up? What's I mean, yeah, you talked about socialize, but what else is exciting you lately? What's coming up?
I think, yeah, I have to talk about socialize a little more. I think I want to learn how to build this little one, like talk to more people who are interested in, take their feedback. I think, I don't know, we both were in that session, we had feedback session and this is one person showed up, but just listening to that person and getting feedback, like that was just so I don't know what the word is, but just, it felt really good. And I feel like, okay, this is something that we want to do, we build something that's useful.
Yeah.
People are using it and then they have feedback on it. So like that journey now, I think Socialite is going to be a lot more talking to different people. The meet we had recently with Empire.
Yeah.
And that ma'am really got our idea.
Oh, the conversations we have had for so long, just instantly mentioned those. Like, she just got it.
See, the things like that. Where I'm kind of looking forward to that. Like, it's like, okay, no, like, wow, this is going to be cool. Like, talking to more people, pitching our idea.
Yeah.
People will like it, people will not like it, people will be skeptical, but just pitching that idea will be really, really great fun. And yeah, just looking forward to, I think my dad, mom, everyone has just told me, just look to add value. Don't worry about the money aspect and all that. So I think just the next part, just how can I add more value to whatever I'm doing?
Yeah.
And college is coming to an end. So that's going to be a huge part on my mind. And it's kind of a lot of reflection is going to happen, especially as I go. Like, okay, what happened? What could I have done better? But it's mostly going to be like, wow, okay, college has been just super grateful for everything.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, grateful for the friends, grateful for all the amazing, so many different people I learned from a lot.
Yeah.
My parents have just pushed me through a lot of things. And I just feel like the amount I've learned from you has just been crazy. Yeah, the seniors, 20 batch, insane amount of learning. So just really grateful. And as I end college, just looking back, I know I'm going to just really, really, really miss college. And I think that's the next part. Just, miss college and slowly transition towards the next part. So that, oh my God, that's the very next phase.
Damn. All right. I think we should bring it to a close now. We yapped for too long.
Oh, this has been great fun.
It was great fun.
This is like a dream come true. Actually, I was learning a lot from you. And I think awesome. Honored to be on the Billboard question.
Was insane. What is it now?
I think that's a very huge part of the forecast Frisbee team. Frisbee team is actually special.
Bro, it's been such a big part of our lives. Like, I don't think we can talk about our
Like friends we have now.
Yeah,
Through
all Frisbee.
that.
Man,
That.
man, thank you for doing this. Honestly, like, I've been telling you, we'll do this for like a long while. Just things kept coming up. We both just could never figure it out. But today I was like, no, today it's happening. We have the time. We have the break. This will be up in like next couple of days.
Awesome. Super excited. Yeah, I'm super grateful that I could be here. I had so much fun yapping. Yes.
Bro, I think it's a great look back at college life. Like, you will come back to this and it'll have a look. Anyways, yeah, I will cut the cord now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Yo, I think my phone might have died by now. Oh, it's on. Yay.